love a buttered biscuit.
Dropped a grumpy, pardon the term, onto the bed.
Let's see. Let's make sure we've got it open. Looks like whatever program was running. Check 1, 2. All right. I should have audio now. Yeah, that should be working. So there is that. So I should have. Okay, now. Excellent. Yeah, there was an update on my audio software, and yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it happens. So, as I was saying, good evening, everybody. We'll start from the top. Do I need to just start the whole thing over? Yeah. So I've got don't switch. I'll be out of town this weekend. I'll be heading to undisclosed location. Going and taking care of stuff for the father-in-law, and so it'll be heading out Thursday morning. I won't be doing a Thursday morning stream, and I won't be back until I guess Monday. I'll have a Monday morning stream, so it should be good. We'll just see how things go. I've got a couple of things set in the fire to get taken care of. So it's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts this week. But that's how it goes. Jessica Reloaded will not be joining us tonight. I spoke with her earlier, and she's not able to make it in. So hooray for that. No, I understand she's not able to make it. So we're hoping that next week, next week I should be able to get through a good portion of the Zachariah Anderson stuff. I've got some. Well, I'll probably be covering more of the election stuff as it gets a little bit closer in. So if you're not wanting to hear about that stuff, then don't tune in on Monday morning, because I'll probably be talking a little bit about that and see where all the standings are. Like I said, I probably won't be even. I may jump on Saturday with MG. He's gonna have his 1-year anniversary stream. He's been streaming for a year now, so I may do that while I'm out of town. Just jump in and give him a big shout out for his anniversary. It'd be really cool. But I will be transferring everybody over to him. He's covering the trial in Alaska. I've been recording it during the day and uploading them and giving him just exclusive links so he can do those first before I do. Hey, cool gamer, good to see you. Good to see you, Phoenix Fire, Hal, 9000. Awesome. But yeah, I got all the I've got all that stuff set up. So yeah, we'll just get down to it. Get down on it. Yeah. Oh boy. This woman. Hooray. Here we go.
Screamed horrible things at me.
Horrible things. I deserved every bit of it.
I'm going to take you just for a moment to
Okay, let's get some audio.
makeup, and then that would put
Okay,
after
good
that.
break point. Okay, great.
That'll be
All right,
a
thank
good
you.
breaking point after the makeup. You
Yes.
said that you didn't testify. You didn't wear any makeup that day. We've heard all kinds of things about
All right.
makeup in this case. Could you please tell the
Some
jury
makeup.
what your regular routine was with respect to makeup?
Yes, I get up and wash my face like most of us, and I put on right away a moisturizer that has tinted foundation in it. And
Mhm.
then I put another foundation on because it has sunblock in it. I have a skin condition that my skin reacts to the sun in a bad way. So I have to wear sunscreen or sunblock every day. Anyway, so I put on both of those. I put on concealer, and I do that before I leave my bathroom in the morning.
Mhm.
That's obviously if I don't have a bruise.
Now,
So do you take a
when
dump
you
whenever you're in
had
there, or
bruises
just what?
or
I
cuts
don't
of any
understand.
nature, what would you do about those? Would you
Well, let's
try to
get
cover 'em up? Would
let's get
you
the
try to
closed
leave them
captions on.
showing?
We can
What would you
speed
do?
this thing up.
Tatiana leading.
Yeah,
Overruled out loud.
thank you.
Okay.
Objection, your honor, leading. Come on.
Well,
Come on, Elaine.
I am typically photographed in LA when I leave the house, paparazzi type of photograph. So I always
So you know that the
am
cameras are there
aware
all
of
the
that
time.
anyway.
There you go.
And
She's already aware.
no woman wants to walk around with a bruise on her face.
Sure they do.
So if I do have a bruise on my face or someplace visible, the main thing, you have to ice right away to reduce swelling because no amount of makeup can fix swelling, but it's very manageable if you ice it really soon. Arnica is also a great remedy, arnica cream. And then if you want to cover up a bruise, you obviously put foundation first, concealer, and then on top of that, I used a bruise kit. Not a bruise kit, it's a theater makeup
Bruise
kit,
kit?
color correction kit. I call it my bruise kit.
And let me, I use this, I think, in opening statement.
Good Lord. Oh,
If you could
her bruise kit.
microphone, please.
Jeez.
There you go.
May I approach the witness to?
That's what you could show counsel.
Jesus. There it went. The whole bruise kit thing.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about as a color correction kit. This is not obviously the exact one I used to carry, but I used to carry it with me all the time. Sometimes this pink is sometimes a little bit more purple of a hue, and sometimes the kits are 3 colors. You can get them in 3 or 4 colors. Sometimes they have even more. But the idea is that you want to counteract whatever color you're working with on the bruise. So the first day of bruising, the immediate is red. Red is what shows up right away. So you want to go
Oh,
with the
geez.
opposite on a color wheel by dabbing on a bit of the green or something to counteract the red. After a day or 2, you get more purple in a bruise. So you'd obviously have to go with more of the red tones, the orange tones here. Day 2 for me was always the trickiest because day 2 just, I feel like, day 1 and day 2 are hardest for me because that's when you get the most blues and purples and you have to deal with the sensitivity. Bruises don't like to be touched. That's the whole point. So that's the trickiest part. But after a few days, that becomes more of that blue becomes more of a brown, yellowish browns, like
So horrible.
5-7 days in becomes more of a yellow green, and then fades into a brown and then into your skin. And whatever color you're working with in the bruise, you want to go opposite color on the color
Jeez
wheel.
Louise.
The opposite. I mean, so in the first couple of days when you have more of the typical bruise colors,
Stop
the blues and the purples,
explaining to us.
you want to go more
Amber.
of the orange on the
You're
color
rambling
wheel,
now.
as opposed to the greens that you start
Stop
with. And
rambling.
then it progresses from there. I also noticed that bruising on your face tends to heal a lot faster than, at least for me, it was faster healing than bruises on my body, or at least
You
it
got a
seemed like that
skin
to me.
condition.
And a nose is pretty much unrecognizable after a day or two, depending on how much you ice it. Lips are the hardest because they crack and bleed, of course, but it's easy to hide with lipstick if you're a woman, or if you wear lipstick, I suppose.
We heard some testimony
You
of people
suppose?
in the week of
Jeez.
May 21st to 27th saying that they didn't wear a stitch of makeup.
Come on, girl.
Objection, hearsay.
Yep.
Overruled.
They just don't know what they're talking about. I always wear
Objection,
makeup.
hearsay.
You always wear makeup?
I mean, it's part of my bathroom routine in the morning. Wash my face. I put on moisturizer. My moisturizer has tinted foundation in it, and I'm certainly not going to walk around LA with bruises on my face.
I think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our lunch recess at this time. Again, did
Jeez,
not do any outside
what an
research unless
attitude.
that's the case with anybody. And we'll see you in an hour, okay? Thank
Good
you.
Lord. All
Court
right,
is still in
we get
session, so
past-
please be quiet in the gallery. Thank you.
Get past this stuff here. And we'll get to. There we go. There's nothing in between there. And we'll fast forward a couple of minutes here till we can get it up to speed. Boom, boom. There we go. It should be back here. Oh boy.
Okay, we're ready for the jury.
Good Lord. Everybody stand up. Get up. Get up now. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up and jump now. Oh yeah. All right. Let's get to
Yeah,
it.
I'd like to move the admission of defendants exhibit 155.
Oh, 155.
Makeup palette.
Oh, okay. Any objection to that?
No objection.
All right, 155 in evidence. Do we have it?
Oh yeah, get that makeup palette in there.
I have pictures for.
All right, thank you. All right, 155 in evidence. 155. Yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, can you bring up Depp exhibit number 357B as in boy, plaintiff's exhibit?
Thing was they never made that makeup palette
June 2016.
during the time that she was supposedly using it.
4:47 to
The retraction.
7:52.
Oh yeah.
Is that in evidence yet?
I'm going to move the admission of it.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
was that going to be for the whole 357 or is that 357A or is that?
That's just B. I have that as
B.
B as in boy. I think there was a portion. that
Okay,
was put in there.
357B. Any objection to 357B?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 357B in evidence. Thank you.
I can just tell you the basic facts is like it was private for days after I filed. You did not have to file. That's not a move that the other party has to make.
Okay.
And it's just not.
Okay.
And you did. One
Okay.
your team did.
Okay.
And then within 5 minutes it was filed in TMZ. You just do the math yourself without any other thing. And it's very clear.
Okay.
And I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that. And if that's the case, I'll acknowledge it. And if you say I approve, then I'll acknowledge it. Look, it doesn't shock me that any fucking
Yeah, it just makes sense.
attorney would do something like that. It doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't shock me. But I'm telling you now, if we go, if they file the fucking papers tomorrow, which means the shit I gotta file before we go to court on Friday. If they file those papers, it's first of all, it's very bad for both of us. Okay.
Well, your team's not going to file anything that they think is bad for you. Trust me.
No, you're what you're saying. You got to do something to protect yourself, which means throwing me under the bus for some video about me being.
Not me. I have to respond. Legally, I'll have to go and pursue I just pursue the whole course of action because here's what you don't understand. If we do
Crap.
this, and basically, no, because I called my lawyers and I said, why aren't we negotiating? What is going on? Where are we? And they're like, everything's in their court. We literally
No, they won't
not
settle.
doing
Your
anything.
agents won't. Your lawyers won't settle, baby. I'm telling you.
No. We want to mediate. We even have a mediator. We even found mediators and everything. Like that was all worked out. The thing that Laura didn't agree to was she did not want to agree to a mutual gag order. And that's the problem, that she doesn't want the gag order. Why, Johnny? Why? Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she want both parties to not talk about this in the press? By the way, just talking about press, not even talking about court.
Okay,
Why?
I'll tell you what, Amber, let me get on that right now. I'll fucking get on it right now. And I'll get a message back to you somehow. Just, but I'll get on it right now.
I just want you to know, I've not done anything, and have not been doing any moves. Let's look it up, timeline. Nothing was on the offense. Everything has been a defensive move because I'm being called a liar and a gold digger. And I'm not lying about any of this shit. And I am not after a dime of your money. And
But she was. You retract your statement. Why do you retract your statement? The retraction. I retract my statement. Okay. Gotcha.
Do you remember when you had this discussion with Mr. Depp?
Yes,
When was that?
I believe that was June of 2016. So after the divorce, while we saw the restraining order.
And what, if anything, was going on with respect to a gag order at that point?
Objection calls for speculation.
Yes, it does.
I'm asking her. I haven't.
All right, overruled.
I was trying to get Johnny to stop the smear campaign. That he
Objection,
launched.
Your Honor. Hearsay. Lack of foundation.
What, if any, discussion did you have with him about a smear campaign?
Johnny told me that he would ruin me, that no one would.
You thought it was makeup palette time, where Elaine said, "So this is not the actual one you had at the time." No, it was similar, not the one she had at the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're showing it as evidence,
would ever touch me, meaning in profession.
like not the exact one she had, but it's the same maker of the one. They brought it in as an exhibit.
Like no one would ever work with me again. That I'd never work again. That I'd be selling Depends, is what he said.
Yeah,
and that he'd ruined my career.
she
and
should be wearing
he
diapers.
refused to not engage with. Up until that point, he refused to not engage with the press by leaking.
Objection, Your Honor.
false-
Calls for speculation.
How is that speculation?
That is total
That was
speculation.
her, correct?
Right.
Okay, all right, I'll overrule the objection.
It's not what he
and up
said.
To that point, I was trying to, get him to call the dogs off, call it off, because it was
All what off?
it was forcing me into a position where he was calling me a liar, and he was forcing me to prove it, and I knew that wasn't going to be good for him.
No.
And I kept saying, don't make me prove it. I don't want to. But he was calling me a liar and having a really sophisticated, very, very well paid, very sophisticated PR machine.
Objection, Your
Going
Honor.
over
Calls
time.
for
All
speculation.
right, I'll sustain the objection.
I'll move on. Let's go to Depp exhibit, the plaintiff's
Mhm.
exhibit
should be.
357C. That's 12:30 to 16:30. Remove the admission.
Something about colons. Well, we know all about Amber's colon.
No objection, Your
It
Honor.
ain't right.
7C in evidence.
All right, Michelle, if you complain, please.
I'm not, it's not about that. It would not be about me throwing you under the bus. You know what it would be? It would be released through documented people coming on the record and having the protection to do so that haven't had yet. It would be eyewitness statements. It would be evidence, tons of it, and it would be through years. And it would be
Damn it.
unbelievable, to imagine that either I'm in a secret fake club, or B, I've had
The secret what?
a secret fight club, or that I have been plotting to do this for 3 years, and taking pictures of it and documenting it, just saving it up for the right time when I'm not asking for any money and have nothing financial to gain from it. That no one is going to believe that. No one is going to believe that one of the two alternatives is I'm in a fight club, or I've been going through hair and makeup, or going through makeup through all these years where I have corroborating text messages.
Jesus Christ. It's acting funky. Not even the elderly would know what she is. Maybe model in Asian markets. Yeah, maybe.
Between people that match those dates of those timestamps validated photos of either cooperation between people hearing us or cooperation of next day, Wendy sending text message to Kevin, him responding, or the kind of stuff like between me and people in your life. It is insanely cross cooperated, and it is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years. While having this like imaginary life.
That's what it looks like.
You understand, the pictures I have match with like text messages to my mom back and forth about it, and text messages between say Raquel and my mom, or Raquel and my dad, or between my two friends. There's a text message where I tell Jody the night.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. It's still hearsay. Okay, because all right, so I take a picture of a bruise. I send a picture off to Benjamin. I send a picture off to him and say, look what Hal did to me. That's not corroboration. That's just me taking picture and blaming somebody for some other shit. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. And this stuff is not going to be allowed in because they want to get these text messages in between her and her mother, and they can't do that. Right. It's blackmail at the most. I mean, it is. It's bullshit. Because there's no way of actually, oh, this was the time that I did it. What, 6 months before this supposedly happened? I just don't buy it. Don't buy a bit of it.
Before I had that James Corden night show thing, where I say, hey, Jody, I've had an accident. I think I have a busted lip. I may have a busted nose and two black eyes tomorrow because I don't know how bad it will be until the morning every day. But I don't know how. I say it.
Like, he's probably sitting there going, what is she babbling about?
It doesn't matter. There is nothing, and all of that won't be me throwing you in the bus. That will be evidence in this case. It will be criminal as well because I cannot go on Friday and file without filing.
But if it's criminal, then you should have gone after him criminally. That'd be the thing to do.
And the only reason I haven't had that police statement, which has been used against me, by the way, every day. The only reason I won't do it, I haven't done it, is because I don't want to hurt you, and that means it goes out of my hands. And the third party guy,
No, it's hard because she can't prove it. If dude's that abusive, he's beating the hell out of you. Ladies, immediately call the popo. He does it once, he's going to do it again. He's going to continually do it. He ain't going to stop ever. Anger and spite, and she switches to acting hurt. This recording is good for JD, not amberheard. I know, exactly, Benjamin.
But the problem is, from you, like your biggest struggle is that it's the most solid evidence case of domestic violence I've ever seen. And if you give this over to them or present any part of it, they will prosecute him. And I felt like I would never. It's hard for me to even understand. I don't call myself like in my head. It's hard for me to even accept any sort of victimdom ever.
She's been playing victim the whole
Explain
time.
What the context of this was?
Her blackmailing him.
I was begging Johnny to not make me prove what I've had to sit on the stand in front of all of you and prove.
But you haven't proven anything. I told him not to make me prove this. Prove what? You have not proven anything. You've got really crappy pictures that don't even look like it. Hey, what's up, Roseman Ranch? Good to see you. Glad you could make it in. Yeah, he hasn't proven anything. Nothing. What's up? Yeah, nothing. Not proving anything.
And talk about I was begging not to do this and have to sit where I'm sitting today. I didn't want this. I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be there then. And I was trying to point.
What? She's acting like she brought this against him. He's suing her for the bullshit that she said. He's suing her for what the lies that she told. That's all it is. It's just like, he's just like, oh, okay, well, we're going to play this game. Don't want to, but here we go. You've defamed me.
Out something to somebody who I thought did not have a firm grasp on reality.
Objection calls for speculation.
Clearly, he didn't have a clear
I was
grasp
trying to
on
point out
reality.
how absurd it would be for him to keep making me prove this by calling me a liar. I was trying to get him to not call me a liar because everything that I had said to date and everything I've said to date now is the truth.
Uh-huh.
And I was begging him not to make me prove it, that there
The
were
jury
photos, that
found
there were
different.
witnesses, that there was my
Witnesses.
testimony.
Thousands
There
of
were years of me with injuries
injuries,
on the
years.
days when we were fighting, and they were documented. I mean, pictures from 2012.
Uh-huh.
So I was trying to say to him, either you'd suppose that people would rather believe this is a hoax, elaborate, or
Oh, she wanted to. If she didn't countersue, then she would never have had to get on the stand. She never had to get on the stand in the first place. She never had to get up there and say any of this.
orchestrated year-long campaign for what?
She could have got witnesses to come up and say it.
What? It just seemed crazy.
This for her was
And I thought no one was advising him
goal.
in his best interest. I thought no one was telling him the truth. I know he's surrounded by yes men, and I thought nobody was saying to Johnny, this is crazy, don't do this.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want to hurt him. I loved him. I loved him so much. That's why I'm explaining to him why I didn't file criminal charges. I didn't file a police report, even though it was being used against me. I didn't want this to go to a prosecutor. I didn't want this to hurt.
Because to file a police report, to have him arrested, to go at him like that, you have to have proof, not just these hearsay bullshit excuses that she's got saying, oh, X, Y, or Z happened. You got to have proof, and she doesn't have it. Yes, finally someone who remembers Scream. Oh, yes. If she didn't countersue, none of her mental health would have come in. Exactly. Because that would have been left out. But, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord Almighty. They wanted to go after Depp for his mental capabilities. It's just like, why? I'm going after her for defamation.
Hurt Johnny. I don't want this to hurt Johnny.
Yeah, you do.
Michelle, can you bring up Depp Exhibit 357D as in David? And that is
Still no tears shed.
to 17:37.
Too much colons right there.
All right, any
No
objection?
objection.
All right. In evidence, 357D.
I've
Baby.
been called a liar.
Baby.
And I've been called
Baby.
a gold digger.
Baby.
Everyone is.
Baby. Amber, I didn't call you those things.
Yep.
I didn't call you those things.
I'm going to go on now to, can we go to plaintiff's exhibit 357E?
Nice.
And this is 21:47 to 22:37. I'm going to move the admission, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
357E. Thank you.
And you're stronger. It's only I think that I thought you could kill me. That doesn't mean you counter with you also that you lost your own finger. I am not trying to attack you here. I'm just trying to point out the fact of why I said call 911. Because you had your hands on me, I was on the phone at my face, and I just got crazy in the past, and I truly thought I need to stop this madness before I get hurt.
Oh my God.
And I never think about myself that way.
It's like, oh my
I never
God.
defend myself that way. I never see myself as a victim. It's
Alright.
your fault, you know?
All right. Yeah.
And I
Yeah, okay.
when they came, I did not cooperate with them. It has been used
Ah.
not by the media, by your side.
Sufferable.
And what are you referring to there?
I don't know.
That I don't want to call myself a victim. I don't like to think of myself as a victim, and I don't want him to think I'm attacking him or blaming him. I'm pointing out I didn't cooperate with the police, that I didn't want to get him in trouble, that I didn't want to hurt him. I don't want anything from him. Just don't call me a liar. It's all I said. Just don't call me a liar. Just don't say
No
this
tears.
isn't real. Because I'm the walking proof of it.
You're not walking proof of.
Good
You are
answer.
walking
So
proof
that's
of being a
plaintiff
liar.
Exhibit 357F as in Frank.
Still no
24:24
tears.
to 24:48 and move the admission.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
Still no tears.
I said only this from the very beginning. I only have my integrity. And the unfortunate thing is
What about mine?
taking it a step further.
What about mine?
They keep taking
What about mine?
I'm trying to stay literally in
Ah,
words.
jeez.
Out of my mouth, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Every step of the way, I have said to them, the thing is, they're hurting Johnny by this because
Sure
every
they are.
time that they call me a liar or they say this is not true or he was
She's still not crying.
The security guard, just like with the follow-up to your security guard thing, they never saw abuse happening. The same security guard who, by the way, have said to me multiple times that I was going to get killed.
Oh, back to the tears.
What
Or
are you talking about?
fake
there?
tears.
Even though Johnny told me that his guards would say whatever he needed them to say, that they were the same guards who had told me that I would lose my life
Objection, Your
this
Honor.
way.
Hearsay.
All right, sustained objection.
It came in through the table.
Yep.
That's all right. We're fine. Let's go, Michelle.
Your
just-
Honor.
No, it
Maybe if we
didn't.
could approach, please.
I'm sorry.
I mean, she's dabbing her nose like she's doing drugs. Yep, the bump. You saw it too. Yeah, the-
G, and it's 26:00 to
Uh-huh.
26:28.
Still no tears.
Oh, move the admission. I'm sorry.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
Obviously, they're going to have to say they didn't see it in front of me and other people that have heard them.
You're gonna have to do this under oath too, you know.
Yep.
As well, because the unfortunate part is, I can talk about all of this.
Do you believe all this, Amber? Do you believe all this?
All this.
Yes.
You believe I'm an abuser. You believe I'm an abuser.
In May, in December, in April.
What were you referring to with the May, December, and April?
He was just listing some of the times in which he beat me up and that he knew about.
So I'm going to take you now, fast forward into the July
calling me an
2016
abuser.
timeframe. There was a mediation.
You really want to
that
go
came
this
about
route?
during that time.
Jeez.
What, if any, intent did you have to reconcile with Mr. Depp at the time of the mediation?
I wanted there to be no animosity. I wanted to minimize animosity. I wanted to reconcile in that way. I didn't want to get back together with him, if that makes sense.
Can you just briefly describe what transpired during the July mediation?
Even though I had a TRO and I wanted to move on with my life, the campaign I mentioned earlier, the smear campaign, the article.
So TRO, temporary restraining order, a smear campaign that she mentioned earlier, the article after the choice to dress up as David Carradine might have been a bad choice. What is going on, Nick? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, brother. Abomination. Hey, brother. How's it going, Abomination? Good to see you. Hope you're doing awesome, man, over there on the Rumble side. Yeah, the choice to dress up as David Carradine, or, what is it, General Sal? Yeah, not a good idea.
After article, the hounding me, the leaking fake.
Objection, Your Honor. Non-responsive.
All right, I sustain the objection. Okay.
You stay in the objection.
What I
Oh,
was-
good job.
Meeting with him about is because he had, put these things out in the media. It seemed like every day
Objection,
there
Your
was a new
Honor.
attack.
Calls for speculation.
See, they're going to get her again on this. Yeah, I hope your family is well also, Nick. Absolutely.
Lack of foundation.
Did Mr. Depp discuss with you that he was putting these out in the media?
Objection leading.
Overruled, I'll allow it.
Yes.
Please explain.
He told me he would tell his team to back off and to back off effectively if I agreed to do certain things, one of which
Objection
there was-
hearsay.
he wanted me to like drop charges. He wanted, or some version of that. He wanted me to
There's
get back
no
together with him
charges
and
to
go on tour with
drop.
him in the tour bus. He wanted me to do certain things that I thought were impossible and that would definitely
So yeah, this is so screwy. Like it'd be impossible.
go against all of you know everything that I stood for and had earned in getting my TRO, getting my restraining order and moving on. But I had to break the TRO in order to beg him to stop the machine, the press machine, because I was feeling like I couldn't live my life. I was being dropped from commercial opportunities.
There was no press machine. Party opponent exception to hearsay. Yeah, that is true. You're right. You're right. Except it is hearsay whenever she keeps saying, well, he was waging a smear campaign. Like he did none of this. Like he was just like, okay, if my people are doing this, I'm all over it. But let me make some phone calls. Like you're rattling like a damn snake. Just good Lord. And no, she didn't lose any opportunities. As much as she's going to say how many opportunities she lost, she was circling the drain as it was. The only thing that made her really famous was that she was Johnny Depp's wife, girlfriend, piece of ass, whatever you want to call it. That's it.
People were turning on me. A campaign I shot dropped me. I mean, it was just, I had never been inundated with that much press. Every single day, me and my family were, and every witness, anyone who even indirectly supported me got bombarded. And
most witnesses, I don't think that you should go attack people and go after them and be that kind of ass, but that kind of shit does happen.
media
Objection.
campaigns.
Calls for speculation.
Yep.
Lack of foundation.
I'll stay in just the last part of that. All right. Next question.
Okay. We heard Christian Carino testify earlier. Can you describe to the jury what your relationship is and was with Christian Carino?
He was my commercial agent, meaning he handled things like campaigns for a short amount of time, and then became Johnny's agent
There you go.
around the time of the
I
divorce.
watch that.
He was a kind of mutual friend at the time between Johnny and I, and so he helped us kind of negotiate or mediate a time where we could meet. And my goal in that was to just beg Johnny to stop doing this.
Objection. Non-responsive.
Overruled. That's right.
What, if any, desire did you have to return to Mr. Depp after the divorce?
None.
Now, you heard Mr. White testify that he engaged in negotiations with you during the settlement process of the divorce. What, if any, discussions did you have with Mr. White?
None. The first time I saw him was on the testimony screen in the UK during the UK trial. I've never spoken to him.
So he didn't negotiate your settlement?
No, he did not.
What was important to you in the divorce negotiations?
The statement. That was it. The statement. I wanted a mutual statement, and I wanted him to call get the press out of this. Just make a statement, and in that statement, clear my name. I wanted to clear my name. It's all I have.
Clear your name of
I
what?
said this to him too, and he knew this. All I have is my name. I come from nothing. All I have is my integrity. All I have is my name.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he promised to take. from
Money,
me.
money, money, money.
Why did you agree to accept $7 million as your settlement?
I didn't care about the money. I was told if I didn't agree to a number, that it could be overturned. That this would never it would never get complete. It would never settle.
Objection,
and it would be
hearsay.
overturned.
Objection. Yeah, exactly.
What
All
was
right,
your
understand. Go ahead.
What was your understanding?
If I didn't agree to a number, it would be overturned. So I took far less than what they were offering and what I was entitled to.
Lighter.
Why did you donate it to charity?
I
But you
promised the
didn't
entirety
donate.
of it to charity because I was never interested in Johnny's money. And in the
Uh-huh.
divorce, I just wanted my safety. I wanted to move on from my life. I wanted my future. And then he started compromising that, calling me a liar, making it impossible for me to move on by doing so. So that I wanted the truth. I wanted him to clear my name and to leave me alone. I've been saying that since 2016.
She's been
So
lying
why
the whole
did you donate 3.5 to Children's Hospital and 3.5 to
settlements are
ACLU?
not subject to appellate courts.
Well, I pledged the first half or 3.5 to Children's Hospital
mm.
because I've been working there as a volunteer for well over a decade.
Yeah, but a suit is
I knew the facility well. I'd worked there with another nonprofit, is how I got affiliated with them, and I knew they could use the resources. I was familiar with it. And
What about the ACLU?
and then ACLU because I was a supporter, because I believed in the work they were doing. I believed that they were doing good work for people who deserved it.
Why did you make the donations over a period of time as opposed to just a lump sum?
Two reasons. The short of it is because I was receiving the settlement in installments.
see the thing that she's failing to recognize is, even to this day, how much money has Johnny collected from her? I mean, think about it. To this day, how much money has he actually collected from her? I know he sued her for whatever amount it was, and the jury found it to be in the hundreds of millions. Her bottle looks like a full yeah, it does. I think it's full of lavender soap. Yeah, it might be. Am I wrong unless there's proof of ineffective assistance of counsel? No, that doesn't matter. They would have to prove that, but counsel was not ineffective. They were there, they were breathing. That's a high bar for her to cross. Now she can appeal the decision that the court made. But from what I can tell, she's going to have to fork over quite a few $1 billion there, $1 million, sorry, to get that even in the appellate court. I don't think she has the money to do it, but you don't want to do this one.
Installments. I was receiving the installments over time. Second of all, so I could get the tax benefit of paying overtime. You know, as my
Because I don't think. Well, I mean, she hasn't paid anything, because if she's appealing it, not court for settlements and mediation, not courts. Well, this is yeah, that's a little bit different. Court stirring, divorce settlements, and mediation. Those are different than what this is. This is a suit for defamation. So, and of course, Elaine couldn't settle this one. And probably the number was going to be too high. He was just like, yeah, good luck.
my understanding, that's how you pay these like large sums. You pay it over time.
Did you
No,
make any payments towards these donations?
I did.
Approximately how much?
I allowed for the first installment, which is 100,000 to each. That came straight from Johnny in 2016. I followed up with 350,000 that year, 2016. 2018, I did another. Oh, and I also donated to 250,000 to Art of Elysium, which is the affiliate I was just speaking
what's
about,
up, baby?
that does the work at the Children's Hospital.
Good to
It was
see.
not going to count towards my overall pledge, but I did that too. And then I did another donation to each in 2018, and then Johnny 2019.
Yeah, it was.
Before we get to that,
It's
did
absolutely what
anyone
it was.
make donations to the Children's Hospital or?
You're talking about Amberheard's testimony regarding her divorce negotiations being overturned. Yeah, see, I don't know. I'm not a divorce attorney. I'm not even an attorney at all, so I don't know any of this stuff. Just saying, she could be lying. It's not something I'd be paying attention to on her stuff. I'm looking at this as a social experiment of how psycho this woman is, because she is cuckoo for freaking Cocoa Puffs.
ACLU on your behalf during
Yeah, she's got issues.
that time period?
Yes, Elon also, Elon, who was my boyfriend at the time, had his own charitable contributions that he made. And he made 500,000 to both in my honor, in my name, in 2017, I believe.
But she
And have
still
you
has
completely
not
fulfilled your
donated.
donations to the ACLU and
No.
the Children's Hospital.
Not even
I
close.
have not yet,
And why not?
because Johnny sued me for $50 million in March of 2019. And I have spent over $6 million.
Objection, Your Honor. This is a motion in limine.
That part was supposed to come in.
All right, once you come forward, let's take a look.
No, it wasn't. Oh, Elaine wanted it to come in, but that part is not supposed to be there. Yeah, they know that there's bullshit going on. There's fuckery going on. Oh boy. It just goes. There's another crazy trial being compared to this one. Laura Owens in Arizona. Yeah. I'm not able to cover a lot of stuff. What I've been doing is recording the Alaska serial killer trial during the day. I've been getting those recorded so MG Law can play those at night, and that's what he's going to be doing tonight. He'll be doing the some more of that. I think he's working on part 5 of that. And I will be it looks like the defense rested
So going
today.
back to that, then, could you afford?
So it looks like on the Alaska trial, the defense did rest today. So I've missed out on whatever the defense was saying, whatever they had to say. As these come out, and our friend MG covers these, I've been opening them up so you can see what's going on with that trial. You can find it under one of my playlists for the Arkansas, or not Arkansas, but Alaska trial. Might be SD murder trial, something like that under that playlist. So you can catch up to where he's at pretty quick on those. And if not, if you want the commentary, you can go over to MG because he's been exclusively, as far as I can tell, covering that one, which is a pretty dark one. It's pretty dark.
Afford to continue making payments to the ACLU and Children's Hospital?
No,
Okay. What, if any, intention do you have to fulfill your pledges and donations to these organizations?
I still fully intend to honor all of my pledges. I would love for him to stop suing me so I can.
What, if any, deadlines are there on your pledges and donations to the ACLU or the Children's Hospital?
There are none.
What's
understand.
up, Tony? Good to see you, mate.
Now, let's
take
go to
care.
Defendant's Exhibit
It's
1458, which is
wonderful that you can
already
make it.
submitted. Now, I'm going to just direct your attention to paragraph 27, where it says, neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. Amber wishes the best for Johnny in the future. What, if any, significance did that have to you?
That was everything to me. That was what.
You following Megan Fox on that one? You talking about the Laura Owens Bachelor fake prego one? No, I have not been able to do much of anything. I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff. So let's put it that way. That's the best way of putting it. But Megan Fox actually gave a really nice shout out the other day about the on her podcast about covering the Alaska trial, which was really nice of her. So much kudos to Megan Fox for that. She's good people.
That was the most important thing in the separation agreement between us, is that he acknowledged that I hadn't made a single false claim, that my allegations were not false. I thought that just because he signed his name to it, he'd honor it. I mean,
oh, okay.
He signed his
Yeah.
name to it, and I thought it would mean something. He acknowledges that I never did it. I mean, I never made a false claim, and I didn't do it.
I have
for
to
financial
check it
gain.
out.
And that's what I was being called at the time: a gold digger and a liar.
Thank you. We can take this down, Michelle, and I'm going to now take you to post-divorce and your career. Please describe for the jury how your career evolved after the divorce, which I think was final in February 2017.
It tanked because she sucks.
I had to fight really hard to keep my career. I after I got my TRO, I lost opportunities. I got canceled from jobs. I got dropped from campaign I'd shot. I was told I was going to be dropped from.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Same objection.
I fought to keep my job in a movie the biggest movie opportunity I had to date.
Which was what?
It was Justice League with the option to become Aquaman. It later became Aquaman, but I had to fight really hard to stay even in Justice League because that was right around the time of the divorce.
Can you tell the jury what Justice League was and what your role was in that?
It is a superhero franchise, DC action film, and it introduced my character.
Her character.
And it provided
That was about it.
Base for the Aquaman spinoff that followed it, but that was not a reality at the time of shooting Justice League.
And then you were able to be an Aquaman, is that correct?
Yes, I kind of showed up to work months early
Yeah.
and stayed really late to fight to keep the job. I managed to keep it and managed slowly
Despite her alcoholism.
to gain through this kind of hard work and goodwill I was able to foster. I was able to keep and make other jobs and
So,
eventually made a movie called Aquaman, and Aquaman was very successful. I think it was the most successful DC film by its release, and I was getting my career back, even though it was
sure she
a major
was.
hit when I got my restraining order against Johnny.
So let's talk about Aquaman for a moment. I think you said it was the highest grossing film of DC.
Uh-huh.
Is that correct?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. When did that come out?
December of 2018.
And what was your role in Aquaman?
I play Mira.
And was that a lead role?
Yes, it is one of the leading roles. It's a female lead opposite Jason Momoa's character of Aquaman.
So it's the leading role, and I think we've got some stuff that came from that. Yeah, he was spoke in the trial right here.
All right, your next witness.
Oh shoot, I didn't know we were starting yet. Wait, almost got it. Perfect spot.
Okay, could you please state your full name?
Yeah, I am Jason Momoa.
Mr. Momoa, do you know Amber Heard?
I do. Hi, Amber.
Don't talk to her. So how do you know Amber?
We work together on Aquaman.
So you work together as actors, right?
No, as janitors.
Mr. Momoa, you have to take this serious. He's not a janitor, he's actually Aquaman. Would you say you felt safe around Amber on the set?
Sure, I guess.
So there was not even one incident.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Why? What happened?
Well, Amber and I were in the pool recording the scene. It was just the two of us. And she pointed at the water and said, "Look at that beautiful brown fish."
So what seems to be the issue? I'm not following.
Any wildlife in the water would be computerized, so that was brown fish.
I don't understand. What was it?
Well, it was, shall I say, Amber's turn.
Mr. Momoa, how do you even know what that was? Did you even take a picture of Amber's Heard?
No, I didn't.
So do you have any evidence?
Well, I made a replica. Yeah, here it is. No. Does that look like a fish? Nope. Man, how did that even come out of her body? Oh, man.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to do that. It just kicks me every time. No, that was not part of the trial. Good Lord.
Aquaman.
So you were his mate?
You could say that. Yes, I was his love interest. The female. I was a female lead of the movie.
So in December of 2018, as Aquaman's coming out, why did you agree to participate in the op-ed?
Well, because I believed in some of the causes that the op-ed was seeking to advance. There was a lot of attention and energy around gender-based issues, gender-based violence issues in general. I had just recently become an ambassador for the ACLU, I was proud of that ambassadorship, and I was looking forward to the opportunity to lend my voice to what I thought was a great cause, which is just a conversation around women's issues and gendered issues that I think the whole country was having at that time. You know, quite a political conversation and cultural conversation at the time. And I was happy to lend my voice if I could.
Who drafted the first draft of the op-ed?
The ACLU.
Did you initially want to include Mr. Depp by name or reference?
No.
What were you trying to accomplish by the op-ed?
I was trying to raise awareness around some of the issues that I just mentioned. There was some legislative reform, Title IX being one of them, and there was just a greater cultural conversation being had around gender issues. And I was happy to weigh in on what I saw as the unique phenomena that women and typically women experience in our culture when they come forward against somebody more powerful, when they speak up about gender-based violence. And I thought I could lend my voice to that conversation.
And she did more damage than she did help. She did a lot more damage than she did help. That's the sad part about it, is because of her, any achievements that there were in the whole Me Too movement, any achievements that they were where these women were coming out of the woodwork saying, listen, I was abused. I was just scared to jump out and say anything. She made it even worse. She made it much worse for women that actually have been abused and not abusers.
I had something to say about that.
Were you trying to boost your sales for Aquaman since it was coming out in that same time frame?
It doesn't work like that. I don't think any op-ed, a major motion picture or major franchise like that is not aided by the publication of an op-ed in the Washington Post. I'll put it that way. But the other way around can be said. I was wanting to lend my name at that specific time to potentially advance the causes within the op-ed.
Because of your success as Mira with Aquaman?
Yeah, just the publicity of the movie and the success of the movie would hopefully, in best case scenario, only add and lend itself would lend attention to the issues that the op-ed aimed to address.
It would lend attention to you.
Once the ACLU
You're an
had your
attention
agreement to be the
whore.
spokesperson for the op-ed to put your name to it.
I sought the advice of my attorney.
And
Sure
why
you
did you
did.
do that?
Well, because I didn't want to get into any sort of legal issue. I didn't want to have any sort of legal problems.
She pissed off survivors.
For talking about what.
Yes, that is absolutely true. She pissed off survivors. I think JD actually boosted survivors for bringing this forward. Because here's the biggest problem is abuse happens on both sides. Men can be abusers, women can be abusers. And I think it really lent out to see that, you don't just blindly believe all women. You don't just blindly believe all men. Suss this thing out and see who is the horrible one in this situation. Do I think that Johnny was shitty to her and probably yelled at her and said mean, cruel things? Yeah, but that doesn't rise to the level of the bullshit that she was pulling at all.
It happens to women when they come forward and speak about these sorts of issues, especially when they come forward against someone more powerful than them. And that backlash, the retaliation that people face when they come forward is exactly what I was writing about. And I didn't want Johnny to retaliate against me.
Then why did you write about
Quite
it?
literally prove my point.
And so who was the counsel that you hired to?
This is gaslighting 101.
His name was Eric George,
Where's he located?
Los Angeles, California.
How did you know Eric George?
Eric George is the attorney who represented me in a different litigation against the producers of London Fields, the movie I mentioned earlier about having a body double and sex scene that I didn't approve of.
What was your understanding of Eric George's experience and skills to be able to review that op-ed for you in the context of your concerns?
Objection, speculation.
I'm asking her understanding.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Yep.
Did you have knowledge of Eric George's abilities at that time?
I did. I thought he had an excellent reputation and would give me great advice.
And what, if any, experience, what was your experience with him in representing you earlier?
I thought he was a fantastic attorney, very smart, and I trusted him.
Without
Uh-huh.
going into the content of it, what, if any, of Eric George's advice did you follow in the context of the op-ed?
I took all of his advice.
Yes.
I made all the edits he suggested. I took all of his advice.
And what, if any, of Eric George's advice?
She's
did you
making it
follow?
a damned if you do,
No.
damned if you
He's my
don't.
lawyer. I listened to him.
Okay. I'm going to ask you if we can pull up, Michelle, Plaintiff's Exhibit 1.
Pull it up. Exhibit 1.
Now, this is the online version of the op-ed, and it has this title, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. What, if any, role did you play in this title?
None.
None.
What,
Yeah.
if any, role, to your knowledge, did the ACLU play in this title?
None to my knowledge.
Okay. Are these exact words anywhere in the article?
No. No, they're not.
When did you first become aware of this title being included in the online version of the op-ed?
I think in this litigation is the first time I realized that.
Okay. I'm going to now ask, Michelle, can you bring up Plaintiff's Exhibit
Really,
2?
just this litigation.
This has also already been admitted into evidence.
Like,
Sure.
they won't talk anything about England.
This is the paper version, if you will, of the Washington Post with your editorial. And if you go to the second page, this one has a title, A Transformative Moment for Women. What, if any, role did you play in that title?
I didn't.
Okay.
None.
Now, do you recall seeing this version, the newspaper version, at the time?
What does it
Yes,
matter?
This is the version I saw. I'm very proud of it.
That's what you saw.
You had the newspaper version, not the online?
I did. I had the newspaper frame.
Okay.
It doesn't
And now I'm going
matter.
to
It was
ask you
still
to
written
turn to-
about
and Michelle, can you
Jesus.
pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit number 3.
Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible.
And do you recognize this document?
She's got her semen drink.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit.
No,
Plaintiff's
she's
Exhibit number
placed
3.
it so the advertisement for the water
Section
is
3 and of it.
is facing
Move it
out.
closer to the jury. Thank you. Now,
Today I published this
did it first say
op-ed.
this is a tweet?
This is what she said. Today I published this op-ed in the Washington Post about women who are channeling their rage about violence and inequality into political strength despite the price of coming forward. From college campus to Congress, we're balancing the scales.
Yes, it is.
And can you explain to the jury what a tweet is for those who are not as social media oriented?
No, she's not either, apparently.
A posting on a social media network called Twitter.
Now, did you send this tweet?
I
Tweet,
think so. I
tweet.
must have.
Okay.
Doodly-dee.
What, if any, control did you have over whether the title given to the op-ed online was in?
After getting Amber Heard to admit it was JD, I wish Camille had hammered believing her attorney for the op-ed she actually released for the Adam Waldman statements she won on. Yeah, that would have been nice if she would have actually hammered her on it, but at some point it's like beating a dead horse. They already knew that it just wasn't going to do much of anything. And here's the thing: if you beat up on somebody, it makes you look like they are the victim. Like, once you've like kicked somebody to the ground, you don't constantly like kick the shit out of them. That's just, and that's basically what it would have been. There's a time that you back off and you say, okay, you've learned your lesson. Enough is enough. And the jury will see that as being more compassionate. In my opinion, I could be wrong.
Included in the tweet.
You don't have control when you're retweeting something. It's my experience that you don't control a title when you're retweeting something. You don't get a chance to re-editorialize someone else's title.
And at the time you sent this tweet, do you remember even noticing that title?
I do not. I don't think I even realized.
Have
Sure.
you ever typed the words from that title?
No, I have not.
Now, I'm going to ask you, let's go back to number 2, plaintiffs 2. And I'm going to ask you, What, if anything, in this op-ed was incorrect?
Nothing. Every word of it is true.
And I'm going to direct your attention specifically, and if we can
It's,
load this up.
so you're saying it's defamation?
And move up just a touch, Michelle, if you can, so we get to then 2 years ago. Then
Yeah.
2 years ago, I became a public
There you
figure
go.
representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. Was this true or false?
True.
What, if anything, did you do about speaking up about domestic abuse 2 years earlier?
Well, I went and got a restraining order against my then husband and walked out to a sea of media and endured to that point 2 years of vitriol.
But it was that was the thing. She didn't have to walk out to a sea of media. That was on her. That was on her to walk out there and she is the one that called TMZ, or somebody from her staff or somebody around her in her little orbit called TMZ and had them come out there. Like, they had no idea what the hell they were showing up for, as we find out.
Vitriol from the media and from Johnny Depp supporters in retaliation for having done so.
And I guess you're really answering my next question, which is, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. Is that what you were referring to for that next?
Yes, because at the time, I thought it couldn't be worse. I obviously now, from where I sit today, no, it gets a lot
Oh, yeah.
a lot worse.
And then, Michelle, if we can move this up a little bit further. Well, actually, that's perfect, Michelle. Then I don't have to use my purple again. Then you said, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. Is this true or false?
True.
Okay, and explain to me what you meant by that and how that was true for you.
Oh, gotcha.
I got a restraining order.
One a
I
controlled exit.
had to
Got
go
it.
to a judge that I needed one.
It's a
I had a bruise on my
controlled
face, got a
exit.
restraining order. I showed pictures. I had proof, and yet everyone, the media, the studios that both Johnny and I worked for, they were ready to support him. They made statements in support of him. They were ready to fire me.
Objection,
They
Your
attempted to
Honor.
fire me.
Hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Such hearsay.
What,
Good
if
Lord.
anything, did you witness with respect to institutions?
Stay on
The
it,
people
Camille.
that we work for, the institutions
That's what
we
they
work
want
for,
to
the
do.
studios we work for, decision makers in my industry, filmmakers and
Objection.
powerful people and decision makers within my industry whom I had not ever even met, who didn't know anything about what happened behind closed doors in the marriage of Johnny and I, were making comments about me, statements about me. I was dropped from campaigns. It was hard for me to work. I was harassed. I'm harassed on a daily basis.
Don't harass people. Still here and listening. Ubs came home from being on the road, so eating dinner. Oh, well, you enjoy dinner and enjoy being home with a husband. That's awesome, Roseman. Send him my regards, and I'll make sure that he knows that you've been a good girl the whole time. You've been absolutely a sweetheart. So, congratulations that he's back and he's home and he's safe, back in the loving arms of his wife, and that he will be enjoying one of the best dinners that he's had since he last saw you. So, cheers to him. Enjoy. It's awesome, Roseman.
Death threats, and just the fact that wasn't there was no parity. The studio and these decision makers and such were so ready to support him and eager to throw
Objection,
him
Your
in.
Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Right. So what, if
More
any, ill
hearsay.
will or bad intentions did you have or intend
All of
against
them,
Mr. Depp
apparently.
by assisting in writing, giving your
In
name in this
Minecraft.
op-ed, and in publishing it?
None. It's not about Johnny. The only one who thought it was about Johnny is Johnny. It's about me. It's about what happened to me after Johnny. It's about what happened to me after I escaped my marriage. It was about me and
Escaped,
my
huh?
life and what I endured once I moved on and got a TRO and moved on with my life. It was about what happened to
Getting
me
a
after.
TRO
The only one who
is
made it about
moving on.
him, ironically, is Johnny.
So, here's the thing. Now, if my wife was abusive, which she's not, thank God. Thanks, shit. Love she even do have to pull out. Shut up, sis. Occasionally, he's home till Sunday, so cooking is on the menu for me. Oh, I love it. Well, that's a good thing because see, I will be out of everybody's touch and everybody's sight for starting tomorrow morning. I won't be streaming tomorrow morning. I have I will be on the road probably about the time that I would normally be doing a stream. I mean, if I did one, it would have to be super short because I'm going to be getting up, making coffee, packing up the car, and I am out the door until Sunday night whenever I get home, probably sometime in the afternoon. I may do something on Sunday, but chances are I won't. I've just got we're handling the father my father-in-law's uh, ashes, cremation, all that kind of stuff, and sort of emptying out his apartment that he was living in. So I will be out of town until I get back. Um, well, I'll be out, well, of course, out of town until I get back. No, I'll be not doing any streams until I get back, which I'll just end up doing one on Monday, and I'm sure it'll be good. It'll be wonderful. It'll be the same old stuff. But yes, I do like to battle. You got one of the most richest men alive, even at this time. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, 3D life is a real thing. There's so much going on. Also, on top of that, um, I'll have to relocate my setup that I currently have here to a different room entirely. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be interesting. Like right now, I'm not in an office. I'm like in a living room. That's why you'll probably hear a little bit of echo in the background and stuff. But we actually have the contractors coming out all next week, and who knows how many days that'll be. And at some point in time, they'll be busting up the floor and removing old drainage. And I mean, just so many things going on. Real life sucks some days. It'd be nice if I could just YouTube all the time, but no, I actually have to deal with the 3D world. It's beautiful, but such as it is, life goes on.
I'm going to, we can take that down, Michelle. I'm going to turn to something about electronics and transparency. You've testified about, and we've seen photographs and audio recordings and text messages, emails, etc. What, if anything, have you done to cooperate in the authentication of all of these things?
Objection.
Yeah. Objection, hearsay. She's uploaded things that are not real. Oh, I feel you. Yeah. I mean, it happens. It'd be nice if I could do a lot of this stuff all the time, but I actually do like spending time with my wife. It's gonna be we actually are making a little bit of a short vacation out of it. Fuck all. That's funny. Yeah. It's we've just got a short period of time that I'm going to be out of town, and like I said, life is life. These are things that would inconvenience them slightly. Do what you gotta do. Thank you. I know you guys will be there. No, I do like spending time with my wife, and we are making a little bit of a vacation out of it. We're gonna, just got the pups with us, and a lot of driving ahead of us. I hate long distance driving. Today, just to explain what my day looked like this morning. I did a stream this morning. I changed my brakes, changed my oil in my driveway, because I still have all my tools from Honda, and I just do all the work right there. Did all of that, and then packed up a bunch of boxes and things like that to use for the unloading of stuff. And yeah, it was a day. It was a day.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure.
May we approach, Your Honor? Oh, please do. Please approach. Yeah, because I may have to be towing towing a trailer back in my car. So we'll see. We shall see. I'll know a little bit better on Sunday.
All right, I'm going to turn to your counterclaim. You have made a counterclaim against Mr. Depp in this case, correct?
That's correct.
And it's based on 3 statements that Mr. Adam Waldman, Mr. Depp's attorney, made, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask if you can pull up defendants exhibit.
Oh, are we going to start getting into that umbrella dude or something like that? The umbrella something or other. Oh, is this where this all comes in? Adam Waldman, at in England, made a statement to her is just like, you're losing, biatch.
Exhibit 245. But Your Honor, I'm going to ask.
It's already in evidence.
Your Honor, if we may approach
Okay,
just real
sure.
quickly, because I think we can move this along faster if we do this
I-
ahead of time.
I doubt it. No, we can get our bullshit in ahead of time. We can get all of our bullshit in ahead of all of this. Crazy. Crazy for feeling so lonely. Crazy for feeling so blue. 'Cause I'm crazy. Crazy for loving you, Elaine. No, nobody loves Elaine but Elaine. I do have one of those for Elaine. It's pretty good. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious.
Oh, a lovely lady. Hey, baby, you're all right. You must have been something before electricity, huh? You're okay. Well, the last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Ooh, that's so cold. What is this? Wonder what this is.
Hello.
Wanna have
I know what that is. Never mind. Yeah, you know what that is. Good Lord. Elaine. Shut up, Elaine. There we go. Back at it again.
Okay, we're going to start by bringing up defendants 1245.
All right, moving that into evidence, no objection, 1245 in evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. And this is an article that was in the Daily Mail
Yeah.
on 8 April
Can't see it.
2020.
What is it?
See that?
No, we can't
And
see
then,
it.
Michelle, if you can move that to the next page. Perfect.
Uh-huh.
It says, Adam Waldman, Depp's lawyer, said afterwards, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and a shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp.
Now, here's the thing. This is something that Adam Waldman said. This is not something that Johnny Depp said. This is something that Adam Waldman said. Was he speaking for his client? Was he speaking for himself? Big difference. You can't go after somebody if my attorney that's representing me speaks out of turn and says something, does that count? That's the question.
Do you see that?
Yes, I
No.
do.
Is this
No,
a
she
true or
doesn't
false
see it.
statement?
False.
And why is it false?
Well,
Well,
we'll have to use to use what I've lived through and what I've survived, calling it fake, saying that I'm harming Johnny with this, I'm harming the public with this. This is what I've lived through, and to say that it's a hoax, that these aren't even real things. I mean,
but did Johnny say it?
After everything I've lived through and survived, and also I hadn't even
Act.
spoken about
Amber,
the sexual abuse within my marriage.
Amber,
I hadn't I
Act.
have been protective of that. I didn't want to talk about that ever.
Act, Amber.
Adam Waldman was
Act.
the one who put that out in the world. As remarkable as that is, I protected
There you
that.
go.
I had to go to another country to give testimony.
And there she says it. There is what she says. Adam Waldman put that out in the world. Now you can go after Adam Waldman on this stuff, but you can't go after Johnny on it.
And thankfully they allowed me to do so with confidentiality, with some protection. And then Johnny, through his lawyer, not only uses that against me, but says it's a hoax.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask if we can bring up, and it's going to be 1246A. I think I'm moving this
All
into
right.
evidence as well.
There's no objections to 1246A is in evidence.
Damn, Sadie's a better actor than her.
This is an article that was published on the 28th of April,
And you
2020.
can see her just flipping the script
So if we can,
like constantly, like her brain is flipping.
and this one says, Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman, said, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax.
A hoax. They
They
said
set Mr. Depp
Mr.
up
Depp
by
up by
calling the cops.
but the
But
first
the first attempt didn't do the trick, he told dailymail.com.
Yep,
And let's keep
there you
going.
go. Are any lies said here?
So Amber
No.
and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up,
Got
got
their
their
story
stories straight under the direction of a lawyer and a
lawyer and
publicist,
publicist,
and then placed a second call to 911. Do
911.
you see that?
Oh yeah,
That's-
we
that's
see
true or
that.
false?
Couldn't be more
Very
false.
true.
And why is that?
Every part of it is false. I didn't call 911. I didn't call the police. I
No.
refused to cooperate with them to protect Johnny. I
Liar.
protected Johnny. I didn't call them once and I didn't call them twice. I didn't rough up the place. I cleaned up the place. I didn't even know the second cops were coming. If I
Oh,
wanted
you
to
cleaned
get
it.
something from him, I wanted
What
to
did
hoax
you
Johnny.
clean
Why
up?
wouldn't I cooperate with the police? Wouldn't I say something to the police? Wouldn't I do more damage to the house and than just knock over the things that you saw pictures of? It makes no
Oh.
sense. And to do it online when there's no fact checking, there's no authorities, there's no one able to, I can't respond. I can't fight this and use these sorts of media leaks and these comments to re-echo over and over and over again online with a network of people that are intent on helping Johnny through a sophisticated PR machine. to echo
Objection,
this
Your Honor.
abuse at me over and
Hearsay,
over.
speculation.
Sophisticated
Sustain the objection.
PR machine.
All
So
right.
wasn't
And
Chris
so what in
Boozy
fact
helping her out
Did
on
you do
all of
that?
this? Wasn't she paying him money?
Cleaned
Oh.
up. I protected Johnny. I refused to
Oh.
cooperate with the police.
CEO Black should have convinced
So many
every
other
juror that there was no
I tried really
context.
hard to keep it private even after that.
Yeah,
When I was committed to
exactly.
filing for a divorce. I tried to protect Johnny. I tried to protect the history of what we had. I tried to protect him.
Try.
Did the opposite.
You
And
what?
I didn't.
Huh?
I didn't even have a lawyer. I didn't call my publicist. I called my contract attorney to get me another lawyer who could give me advice on how to protect Johnny. Every bit of this was to protect Johnny and to protect the secret that I had fought really hard to keep for nearly 5 years.
So why don't we call that lawyer and ask them if she's saying that she did something that she said? Rachel Hope Bernstein Engelhardt. I love that name. That's awesome. Hi, I am here, and oh my gosh, this woman is a witch. It's so disgusting the way she exploits and mocks actual domestic violence survivors. Abso-freaking-lutely. And it is disgusting. That's the worst part about it, is using the abuse of somebody else. It's the comparison I would put, if you're a veteran and you use false valor to say that you served in some foreign wars, you did all of these kind of things and you didn't do it, it just disgraces the names of those people that actually did serve their country, fought for their country. And her coming across like this is as she's not a victim, but she's playing the victim throughout all of this. It sickens me to think that there's people like this out there. And it just makes it really bad for someone that actually does suffer from domestic violence to come forward now because of her. It's just just diminishes every single bit of it.
which was that behind closed doors. Things were not what it looked like.
True.
Okay. Michelle, can you?
Not
take
what
this
she
thing down
said.
And go to defendants 1247, please, and your Honor will move the admission.
All right. And there's no objection to
Damn
it.
right. Damn right. As
Amber,
it should.
This is another daily, a mail online, and this is
Okay.
on 24 June, updated on 25 June 2020. And then if we can go further.
See, it's like this, Rosamund. See, I served in the military. I never fought in a foreign war. I never fought in another country. I didn't go and lose men next to me or any of that stuff. I was a mechanic, a 63 Bravo. Well, I think they eliminated that position. But I was a 63 Bravo. I went in at a young age. I was in the National Guard. I got out. And I'm just like, there's no need for me to sit there and bullshit about it. Like, oh, sure, I could say because of the times, the years that I was in, I did all these great things. But what purpose would that serve? That would be just horrible. Absolutely horrible. And it would diminish the people that I went through basic training with, and I went through AIT that ended up going into, infantry, airborne, that these guys actually went and fought in the first Gulf War. It would just diminish all of what they did. It's like, no, I did my service for my country, and I was done. And I think that war is repulsive and horrible, and if you can avoid it at all costs, absolutely. I've had an uncle that served during Vietnam. I had a grandfather that served during World War II. And the things that they saw, the things that they did, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And it's I think it would diminish all of that for me to say that I did something more than I did. And that's the way I view her. She's scum. Just horrible.
And this one says, Depp's attorney, Adam Waldman, said, we have reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp. Is this true or false?
False.
And why is it false?
Because unfortunately, all of this is real. And what I mentioned earlier about how preposterous it would have to be for this to be this elaborate hoax, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fathom one day that would actually be legitimately the position that he, through a lawyer, would take, albeit online, where he could get away with it.
No, that's the position the lawyer took. That is not the position that he took. Yes, but false accusers should face legal ramifications and not a slap on the wrist. However, this case does not rise above reasonable doubt. False valor is similar but somewhat different. Thank you for your service. No, you're welcome. I mean, it was, like I said, it was a small amount of service, and it is what it is. I don't, it's like somebody asked me, well, you qualify for VA benefits and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't deserve that honor. I really don't. I won't go to the VA to take away from people that actually need that service. That's just, to me, 4 years of doing nothing but changing out batteries and tires and crap like that, where I had guys that I served with that actually fought in wars. So, but yeah, false accusers, they should face legal ramifications. Absolutely. But they never will. It'll be a fine, and she's getting the repercussions of it.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustain the objection.
And of course, Elaine has come out with a new, like, what is it? Some little thing on some channel or something like that they're talking about Amber and the attacks on her, they already tried it once. It's just it falls flat because everybody sees the bullshit that she's all about. They're going to try to rehash this stuff, and Elaine. I have to figure out where that is, because I'm gonna end up streaming that stuff on Rumble and show it. You know, deserve that BS, bureaucratic BS. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but there are service members that need the help, and I feel that I would be taken away from them if I did something like that. It's just not in me. Just yeah. It's like asking for food stamps whenever you just are like right on the cusp of it. I just couldn't do it. Mainstream media are doing what they do. Yeah.
And why is this so absurd?
Because Johnny and I lived this. We lived through this. I lived through this, and I narrowly survived it. But I survived it.
Survive what?
And, you know,
she's a survivor,
of
not a
evidence
victim,
beyond
a survivor.
proof, and yet it won't be good enough for people who are seeking to make money off of Johnny's success.
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the
That's
objection.
fine. Okay. So I'm going to take
what
you
she's
now
doing.
to the damages that you've suffered as a result of these statements by Mr. Waldman on Mr.
Uh-huh.
Waldman's behalf. Please tell the jury how you were doing
And see, that right there is calling for speculation. That's saying, you know, Mr. Waldman's statements on Johnny's behalf. He can do those on his own. He can make his own statements.
Objection. That's a legal conclusion, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
We move to strike. Counsel's
Yes.
testimony.
Come forward.
Yes. Thank you. And this is where they do a sidebar. It's like, yeah, you can't do that, Elaine. You're making a testimony about a legal conclusion that Amber should not be able to even speak of, and that needs to be stricken from the record because that's bullshit.
From the record, we'll disregard that question. All right, your next question.
What was your understanding of on whose behalf Mr. Waldman was making those three statements?
Objection. Lack of foundation. Calls for speculation.
If you want to approach again, that's not what we just said here. I just want
Yes. Oof. Somebody said something in the background. I didn't catch that.
Objection. Calls for speculation.
if you want to approach again, that's not what we just said here. I just want
Oh, yeah. They muted that out. Somebody had something to say. Oof. What was the day that crazy lady came in screaming about Johnny having her baby or something like that, his love child?
So we'll move forward to my other question here. How were you, please tell the jury, how were you doing reputationally before these three statements were made, beginning April 2020? April 8 was the first of them.
Objection, Your Honor. I'm going to object on lack of foundation.
She can talk about her reputation.
overrule all that.
It took hard work. It took a lot of hard work on my
Hard
part,
work.
but I was able to work, get my life back on track. I was taking care of myself emotionally. My career, I was working really hard.
for
I was
you.
able to star in a major success. I worked on a TV series that I had been attached to for a very long time. I became an ambassador for several nonprofits I deeply care about. I was doing a lot of really, it felt really good to be doing the social work and the charity work that I was doing. And I was
Well, it might have been more successful. I mean, what was her name? Gal Gadot or something like that. She seemed to do much better as Wonder Woman. I mean, she's an attractive lady. I mean, she's got an attitude that, is maybe not that most desirable, but she's much more attractive than her. Duh. Of course, there's a lot of women that are much more attractive than
also
than
filming
her.
and working and planning on, I was awaiting a schedule from
Gal Gadot.
Warner Brothers for Aquaman 2, the sequel. And I had wrapped on that TV series I mentioned, and I was waiting to start doing publicity for it to promote it. And I had a campaign, a global campaign, as a spokesperson for a major beauty brand. So things were, the trajectory was positive.
So how did things change after these statements were made?
Well, Here's the thing. It does not matter how things change whenever these statements were made. It's I liken it to be, you come out and you be an asshole. It's like, oh, I don't understand why, me being an asshole to people and cruel to people, why all of a sudden, oh, nobody wants to listen to what I have to say. Well, maybe try not being an asshole. Ah,
I remember around the time, unfortunately, I lost my mother on the 1st of April. And I remember it was when I was grieving her that I got a call that I should be expecting a script.
well, sorry to
for
hear you.
my role in
She
Aquaman
lost your
Objection, Your
mother.
Honor, hearsay.
Of course, if I'm not mistaken, her
So
parents
I
were
was
both
waiting to
drug
schedule
addicts.
and a script for that. Feeling concerned that I wouldn't have enough time to grieve before having to get back into work. I had a press scheduled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Given the choice, Gal Gadot over Amber Heard, but many actresses, I would be drawn to seeing a D Sierra way above Amber Heard looks. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's quite a few that I could see playing that position of Mira in Aquaman. Um, you know, I don't know. Even Aquaman himself, I just didn't picture him being, Jason Momoa. I mean, I was like, okay, I don't really get the Jason Momoa thing, but okay, because I mean, those of us that might have grown up with, the whole DC Aquaman, was it Wonder Twins and all that kind of stuff. You might remember Aquaman was like this blonde haired dude that like swam underwater and wore like tights and stuff. It was sort of gay, I guess. It was weird. I don't know.
To promote the TV series I was doing, and I was shooting things for this beauty brand. And then I remember at that time the beauty brand had to suspend posting what I just shot for them because they were getting bombarded.
Objection, Your Honor, this is hearsay.
Sustain the objection.
Okay, all right.
They said no. I mean, they suspended what I had shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
She can testify to that, Your Honor. She has to be able to testify.
I'll
to that.
sustain the objection.
Yeah.
Were you actively involved in campaigns for L'Oreal before these articles?
I was.
Were you actively involved in campaigns with L'Oreal after these articles?
No.
Were you with the stand? You were talking about the TV series. That was the stand, correct?
Yes, the TV series that I had already completed.
All right. And were you actively involved in publicity for the stand prior to these articles?
Yes, I
Were you-
was.
Were you actively involved in the publicity after these articles?
No, the shoots were canceled. Things were
Okay.
canceled.
With respect to Aquaman 1, Aquaman 2, you'd already starred in Aquaman 1, right? Just so and they called it Aquaman at that time, but now there's an Aquaman 2, just right for,
That's correct.
okay. So were you actively scheduling?
And she still did Aquaman 2. She just had a smaller part, and they basically ex-nated her because of, being a clout chasing. Yeah, Jason was a pretty good re-engineer of Aquaman. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed his portrayal. I honestly didn't even know Amber Heard was in it because she didn't strike me as anything. It's just like the movie, maybe because the movie was called Aquaman. Like you could have thrown any actress or whatever in there. It wouldn't have mattered. It would have been just like, okay, I don't know. Wasn't there some other actresses in there too? I mean, the movie was about Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Simple as that. It's I don't know. I tend to see all of the other actors and actresses that might have been in the movie. I guess Aquaman 2 came out and I guess people said it was okay. I don't know, because like I said, the first one was all right, but I mean, it wasn't anything that blew me out of the water. I mean, I liked his portrayal of Aquaman, but it wasn't. I think it was better in what was it, the Game of Thrones. He was much better in Game of Thrones. Nicole Kidman, yeah, that's right. She was in there also. like I said, I don't pay attention to basically the co-actors and actresses and stuff like that. But that's me. I'm not. I go to a movie and I don't really pay attention to the actors and actresses, but you can say, yeah, they did a really good job. Like, I don't have to agree politically with Jack Black, but I think that he did really awesome. He did an awesome job in High Fidelity. So did John Cusack. And Joan Cusack, she's awesome as hell. I enjoy her acting. Just like, but could I call her out in any other movies? No, I'm just like, a person that you get for that would be like Kaiser Pineapple. He's like knows movies like crazy. Nicole Kidman, she was great in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. That was a hilarious movie. I got a kick out of that. Oh, sorry. I'm derailing.
Filming
Sorry.
script for Aquaman 2 before these articles.
Yes, I was.
Were you actively scheduling after these articles?
No, the communication stopped at that point.
All right. I'm going to.
Did you ever think, Amber, the reason maybe those communications stopped is because Johnny wasn't doing anything to promote you? Because maybe your acting chops weren't up to par? I mean, let's put it this way. I could see Nicolas Cage doing more in movies than you could. Spend my money on indie films and small theaters and watch old movies mainly. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I think that he does really good stuff. Do I know him personally? No, not really. Stream surfing while working. Well, welcome, Jacob Castro, hanging out over on the Rumble side. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that work is treating you well. Keep busy, brother. Keep busy. I like Keanu Reeves. I enjoyed the first Matrix movie so much that I ended up watching it twice in one night, 3 or 4 times before it left the theaters. And the second one was good. The third one was good. Lawrence Fishburne was fun. Cage says yes to everything. Why not? I mean, shit. Fuck it. And then there's been movies that I've seen him in that were just absolutely horrible. He did one, what was it? Oh, Jesus Christ. It had what's her face in it? One of his not the earliest movie they did, which was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I think he was in that. But there was one that he did after like Face Off, and like I said, he's done some pretty damn good movies that, sure, you could have gotten someone else, but who? I was disappointed. I'll say this. I was disappointed that they cast what's his face from Booze and Buddies. God damn it, what's his name? Forrest Gump. Damn it, it slips my mind. See, I'm bad with names. I thought that whenever he did the whole Da Vinci Code, that they should have gotten Randy Quaid's brother, Dennis Quaid, to do those. I think he would have made a much better character for Da Vinci Code. I thought that he would have played the part much better. Just that's sort of who I pictured whenever I read the books, was more of him. But I'm weird like that.
Michelle, can you bring up Defendant's Exhibit 1258? I'm going to show you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 1258. It's dated September 21, 2015. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
Okay, what is it?
it is the Justice League Aquaman contract.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 1258.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor. May we
Oh,
approach?
sure.
Yeah, there's an objection because this is not relevant. Say they've moved into the lost wages kind of portion of this, where she's trying to make a case for my acting skills were so great. I guarantee you, these people on the jury probably never saw Aquaman or even recognized her in the movie. My opinion. If they did see Aquaman, they just didn't recognize her. Like, oh, she was an Aquaman. Wow, how far has she fallen? Like Nicolas Cage was fun in Face Off. John Travolta, he did a really good job in that, but I still liked him in Pulp Fiction. Like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Bruce Willis was so odd in that one. And then there was like I still like I like those really offbeat ones where he had what's his face, Quentin Tarantino, that was doing like Kill Bill was fun. I enjoyed Uma Thurman in that. I mean, it was it was a bullshit, cheesy kind of movie, but she was fun in that one. What was the one that I'm thinking of? Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, that was a fun movie.
So, Amber, can you explain to me how the contract structure was for Justice League and options? Just explain to the jury, please.
It's structured like a 3-picture option. I signed on to do Justice League, where my character was introduced. The fee is, small relative to what it will become if and when you do the other options or movies in that under that umbrella. So it was the contract for Justice League, which could then become Justice League 2, or it could be Aquaman, or it could be some other movie within the DC universe.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And the second picture ended up being Aquaman. And then the third picture, Aquaman 2. Each time the fee goes up, but
Objection, Your Honor. This calls for speculation, lack of foundation.
overall,
Yes.
as far as the contract is concerned, that's what the contract says.
All right. And if we go to page 6, so what was your fee going to be for Aquaman? And what was it for Aquaman?
1 million.
Okay. Then was there also box office bonuses opportunities?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, there are box office bonuses. If it makes a certain amount in the box office, you get a bonus.
Okay. And it says picture number 2. At the time you entered into the contract,
Which is not a bad deal. I mean, think about this. If you're in a movie and the first one is successful, and you get an upgrade to that contract. The contract is for these options, and instead of getting paid, for example, 2 million, you take 1 million and then a percentage of what it makes in the box office. So it sort of forces you to be a much better actor, actress, whatever. So, if the option agreement is good, you want that movie to be successful. So that means you're not going to screw up. You're not going to do like anything to like tank the movie. So you'll end up doing this whole Aquaman bit. I mean, just put this out there. And so if, say, for example, you're going to get a cut of whatever comes out of the box office, maybe it's 0.2% or whatever percentage it might be. You're going to get some percentage of it if it reaches over a certain point, past casting and all that kind of stuff. That's not a bad deal, because that makes you want to make sure that your acting chops are good, that you do everything well, that you sync up well with your co-stars, that you play your part and you play it really well. That's not a bad deal. I mean, think about if you had an option agreement and you did this like indie film that what is it, Jay and Bob's Silent Adventure or whatever, their adventures, or and you sign up for that, man, you could be hooking up with potentially millions of dollars on top of that. If you do a smaller independent film, the budget, they keep it under budget. They don't have to reshoot a lot of scenes because you're screwing up or crap like that. I mean, think about this. Oh, Johnny Depp, for example. Let's just look at an option agreement that he has. Okay. So if their budget is, say, $10 million for the movie and it grosses 100 million, you get a percentage of that 100 million. That's awesome. And then your option agreement increases, maybe it ends up being 2% of whatever the box office is. You want to make sure that that movie does much better than the last one. And if it does it well, then you don't get it quite as much money. So, I mean, dude, that would be awesome. That would be like you've hit like pay dirt, and dude, that would be awesome. Sorry, just thinking out loud here.
Tracked in with on Justice League, did they know what the picture would be?
You know,
Yeah.
as I mentioned before, when you do the contract,
Objection
please-
calls for speculation.
All right, I'll
Yes.
sustain that objection.
Okay. So ultimately, what was picture number 2?
Aquaman,
All right. And then what was it for picture number 3?
Aquaman 2,
Okay. And what was the fee under the option agreement at that time?
$2 million.
Dude.
Now, did you have,
So she's outright going to make $2 million off of Aquaman 2. And how much acting did she do in Aquaman 2? That's what I'm curious, because I haven't seen it yet. Don't know if I will. Maybe whenever it comes out on like Netflix or something like that, or HBO or some crap. I don't know. I'll probably see it at some point in time. It'll be one of those that's on and I'll watch. Be like, oh, cool.
contracts with L'Oreal?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And can you just describe for the jury what was involved with L'Oreal? You talked about being involved in campaigns and then not. Just explain that to them if you can.
As a spokesperson, I'm just involved with the brand as a representative, and a certain amount of commitment you have to do throughout the year on social media and on red carpets, promoting various products or causes there.
So sort of like, it's sort of like ad placement. So 7-ish minutes, I'm told. Yeah, that's bad. But $2 million for 7 minutes. She's going to get paid that, right? She's already, because that was the contract they signed. Whether they film her for 2 hours or 2 seconds, if that's the contract she signed and she shows up being there, she gets that money. Do I feel bad? Fuck no. You pay me $2 million to show up somewhere and show my face. Damn. That's a pretty damn sweet deal right there. I mean, okay. So her deal with L'Oreal, some of that is ad placement, sort of like she has her little bottled water sitting there, that's advertising it. That's ad revenue that she's going to get for having that there. And you'll see this on like a lot of your TV shows and stuff like that. They started like editing stuff out where you could remove like the Coke can or the Pepsi can or whatever it might be, because the contract wore out on that. Like Pepsi paid a certain amount of money to have like that ad placement there, Captain Crunch, whatever it might be, General Mills. They're just like, yeah, we'll put that in the movie, because it's good money, and then you get a little bit of kickback from whatever extra sales they make.
Advancing, generally just like a brand ambassadorship.
Okay. And did you, well, let's pull up 1262. And this is dated as of April 25, 2018, correct?
That's correct.
Was that your first contract with L'Oreal?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And was that for a term, a specific term?
Yeah, until you
Yes,
turn
it was.
old and ugly.
Was it for 2 years?
Yes, it says 2-year contract, and that sounds right.
All right. And then I'm going to ask you to turn to 1264. And that's April 20, 2020. And what, if anything, did L'Oreal do with regard to extending your contract then?
They extended it. They chose to extend it with the option to kind of
All right. And did they extend it just an additional 3 months? If you
that.
look at paragraph 1.
Let's see. Yes, they did.
Okay. And what, if any, work did you do for L'Oreal after these 3 statements were made?
I have only been able to participate in, I believe, 1 live event that they also couldn't promote or use the material from because of.
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
I'll
Hearsay.
sustain the objection.
Okay. Now let's go to 1265. And this is, as of November 15, 2021, this is another extension with L'Oreal, correct?
Yes, it is.
And if you look at the second option term under paragraph 1, it's an extension of 20 months. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And what, if any, work have you been able to do for L'Oreal since this contract?
As I stated, I believe I've only done 1 in-person event with them and they couldn't use the material.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the stand for a minute. Let's pull up 1263.
They couldn't use it, or they didn't want to use it because they didn't want to be associated with a
And this is
liar.
dated July 3, 2019.
Maybe. Just a
And I
thought.
believe you indicated that you had already filmed it by the time these statements were made in April and June of 2020. Is that correct?
That's
Uh-huh.
correct.
Okay. And what, if any, marketing opportunities were you participating in prior to those articles?
We had appearances, talk show, press, the normal kind of group cast press junket, promotional material, photo shoot. And I was, I had various publicity engagements lined up, like a magazine cover, that sort of thing to promote the film. I mean, to promote the series.
And what, if anything?
See, maybe I can get a sponsorship from Monday Night Brewing. That would be awesome. If I got like a sponsorship from Monday Night Brewing, I would show their can. Right now, I don't. Their can. There you go. If they because I won't show it, but if they want to sponsor me, shit, Monday Night Brewing. I'll totally do sponsorships for you, sponsorship spots right here in Georgia. Shit, I would. I'd promote the shit out of your wonderful beers. As long as you don't give me some IPA bullshit. I don't do IPAs. I don't like the pale ales. They just I just don't like them.
Thing were you able to do with marketing opportunities after the 3 articles were published?
None.
What, if any, covers were you on after that for the stand?
They pulled the offer for that, so none.
Okay. And while we're on this agreement, if you look at the second page, how much were you paid for the stand? It's at 6C. 200,000.
Oh, 200,000 an episode.
Okay.
Damn.
Now let's pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1266. Have you been able to get any work since that?
Shit, that imagine in a year you get paid 2 million, and then on top of that you get paid another 200,000 just for doing a couple of episodes, and then you get another 100 million here for doing like a couple of ad spots and stuff like that. Good Lord, how amazing would that be? Just to get those kinds of little bit of, awesome, boosts in your
Cause I wanna be a cowboy, baby, with the top lip back in the sunshine. I wanna be a cowboy, baby, West Coast chilling with the moon. I wanna be a cowboy.
Hey girl.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
How was work? Was it fun?
It was okay. I've been making pretty decent money lately, so it's been kind of worth it. Worth all the crazy. Yeah.
Hey, crazy if you're making the money is good.
That's what I'm there for, bring it. So as long as it's worth my time, so it has been. I've gotten cuts all over my fingers from work, but other than that, I feel like Edward Scissorhands.
I told you not to be shucking those those clams, just.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one of them's a paper cut and one of them's just from me like picking at my fingers. So I don't know. For more.
Yeah, you just got all nervous. That's what it was. It was just like,
No, well, I don't want to be gross, but it was just like, skin like at the end of my finger, like just from like scraping it on something, and it just sticks out. So, and then it just starts bleeding. So I had to put a Band-Aid on it.
I've done that before. That's what I was like today. Here's, and I said this earlier today. My ads are walking around money for movie stars. Exactly. No, so like this morning, whenever I got up, I did my stream, talked with the wife, and she was like, "This is the things I wanted," because we're going out of town tomorrow morning, like really early.
That's what you
We'll be
said.
hitting the road. So I was just like, "Listen, I really want to get my oil changed out of the car. Let me go ahead and do that." And so I managed to get the oil changed out. And then it was just like, because she kept saying, well, we might bring a trailer back just to bring some stuff back with us. I was like, that's fine. I mean, my car will handle it as long as it's not like a big trailer. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
If it's just a few small items, I was like, I can do that. If it doesn't fit in the car. And I was just like, you know what, I bought the brake pads last time I was in getting some service done on my car. I was like, let me just go ahead and buy some brake pads. I can change them out. They still look good. I mean, that was what, a year, 2 years ago. I was like, they still have plenty of wear left on them. And I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and look at these and see what they look like. I looked at them. They were like less than like a quarter of a millimeter left on the brake pads.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, I guess I should change those out. And so that's what I did. I just changed out my brake pads. I mean, I have all my air tools and everything, so I can just pop the tires off, and it, takes me about a tenth of the time that it would somebody else. I don't have the big lift or anything that I can jack the car up. So I'm having to squat down the whole time and do this. But yeah, so I changed them out, and I showed her what the old pads looked like, and she was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And I showed her what the new ones looked like. She was like,
oh, I see.
oh, I was like, yeah, there's not much left there. There's no skin left. And I was just worried if I do have to bring a trailer back that it would be unsafe. And I was like,
yeah.
So yeah, that was my day. And then of course, me being the brain fart that I am, the first one that I take off, I'm just covered. My hands are covered in brake dust. It's just nice and black and sticks to everything. And I'm just like, I have fucking rubber gloves for this stuff. I have nitrile gloves that I purchased for doing like woodworking whenever I'm working with chemicals. I was like, son of a bitch, let me just go. Like, so I wouldn't wash my hands. I look over, I'm like, oh, hey, dear, it's lunchtime. Do you want some lunch? And she was just like, oh, that sounds really good. So I made lunch after I washed my hands, of course. And
yeah,
then
sure.
after lunch, I put the nitrile gloves on and finished out the brake pads. And she was out trimming bushes because they're coming out tomorrow while we're out of town to do the membrane on the foundation. We have so much shit going on all at once. It just, it's insane. It happens.
At least you can work as a team though and get it done. Like,
Oh yeah.
So that's good. There's things that you know how to get done, and then, and then she could do the other thing. And so that's good. You're knocking it all out before you leave.
Isn't that what marriage is supposed to be about? You work as
Absolutely.
a team.
Teamwork. Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah,
unlike this example that we're watching.
I know, it's just like such a fuck story. I'm like, I cannot imagine her being helpful in any way, shape, or
in any way. No.
And the thing is noticing with Johnny that he was willing to say, listen, you don't have to work. You're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And how about this? How about this? Because I'm making such good money that I set you up with being able to, we'll go through the roles that you pick. So you end up with like really good roles, good spots. It's not all about how much money you make, but getting your name out there and doing really good roles. Like, let's work on your chops and make you a better actress. And I could completely see him saying, listen, if you go in there and every single one that they have is just all about seeing your boobs, it's like,
You don't have to do it. Yeah.
you don't have to do that. Why don't you pick some really good acting roles that are going to get you better acting roles afterwards?
And a better reputation.
Yeah, but her saying, no, I just have to be working. I want to make a name for myself. It's like, oh, sweetheart.
And he's trying to help her not make the wrong name for herself, you know.
Exactly. Well, and what did she do? Made a wrong name for herself. And he was like,
and James DeFranco didn't help matters.
No, well, James DeFranco, Elon, all of those.
Or James Franco. I think I said James DeFranco. I don't think it's that. Let me turn my fan down. There we go.
Yeah, DeFranco's a different one. DeFranco.
Yeah, I think it's a whole different person.
Yeah, that was the guy that played Thor in my babysitter movie with what's her name? DeFranco. He also did like what, Law and Crime, something.
I think
like
he's
that.
an older guy too.
Yeah, he was
Franco.
DeFranco.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, James Franco. Oof.
I liked him up until this whole Amber Heard thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't hold it against him. I mean, dude, you got some chick that's gonna put out for you. You're single.
Yeah.
Might as well hit it while it's at least young.
True.
I have done one small independent film.
Okay, and tell the jury what that is.
I shot a film in Guatemala. It's a small independent, meaning it doesn't have distribution or, it doesn't have distribution or anything. It's a lower budget. It's
called OnlyFans, and it involved a sea monster. Well, at least that's what we called it.
Film that I've been attached to for many years called Into the Fire.
Okay. And 1266 has, as of January 13, 2022. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. When did you actually film for this in Guatemala?
March. I believe it was March of this year.
Okay. And do you recall what your compensation was for that?
I don't off the top of my head.
If you can look at ALH 17628, it's paragraph 6A.
Oh, 65,000.
Okay. And
Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, in 3 years, she got paid $2 million, another 200,000, and another 65,000 in less than 2 years. I mean, does that sound like bad money to you?
No, never. I could live off that the rest of my life.
No, I couldn't live off that the rest of my life.
2 million, maybe.
No, 2 million would not survive you the rest of your life.
You don't think so? Well,
No. And I'll tell you from experience, you would have to bank probably 10 million, like straight up 10 million, for you to be able to, not have to work anymore the rest of your life and sort of do what you wanted to do, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you lived frugally, because you think about this, your house, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. You're going to have to be purchasing a car every, 5?
Insurance. My insurance
5 to
is
7
crazy.
years. Insurance, health insurance, any sort of health issues that you might run into.
True.
Plus you have to buy food.
Food is
you have
expensive.
Yeah. I mean, just to basically say, I don't have to work anymore for the rest of my life. You bank a good 10 million, you're set. You're going to live comfortably. You're not going to be rich by any means, shape, or form. I mean, you're still young. So, think about this, 10 million over the next, 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And people are just like, oh, I won the lottery. I'm going to go blow all of it. Well, fucking have fun, because it's going to suck for you. I mean, like my wife and I, we're constantly making money every year and setting aside a certain amount so that whenever it comes time for my wife to be able to retire, that, you know, she's able to live comfortably for the rest of her life and not have to go back to work. And she can still pick up a little bit of work here and there, but, you know, she won't have to like kill herself over it, kind of thing. Like, you know, if you retire with 2 million, that's not much. You know, if you think about it, like how many years do you have to live off of 2 million? You can still be earning money in those later years.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a lot. You know, whenever you sit there and go, well, shit, you know, a house, you know, even a cheap house, you're looking at what, 300,000, 200,000, 150,000. And then you have to pay taxes on that. And then you have to have a car. You know, if you want to go anywhere, you have to have a car. What about taking a trip? I mean, and it's not like you're replenishing that money as you go. So
when you said groceries, that did it for me, because groceries are so expensive.
Yeah, and I mean, how much do
If
you
I
spend
didn't
on
live
groceries?
frugal, I don't know how I would make it. Like, it's crazy. So,
what's up, Zach? What's up,
Zach?
Hey, little D.
Little D.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's so weird. Like people think, you know, oh, just because you're a millionaire does not mean that you're actually a millionaire, because you have shit that has to be paid for. I mean, you would not believe how much it's going to cost just to get our house to keep from fucking getting screwed up where we won't be able to sell it. You know, this, you know, and I feel bad for the people down the street from us because they got it much worse. We're talking about a cracked foundation where there's a big split in the house kind of shit.
Oh,
yeah. Now, 2 million while working would be great for me. Yeah, 2 million while you're working would be awesome, because you can just set that aside. But, you know, you also have to consider that you know, even if you're like minimum wage, you're going to be pulling in what, you know, $30,000 a year, $20,000 a year. You know, that's like living almost poverty level, and just, you know, barely making ends meet. You know, that doesn't include like buying new clothes or anything like that. Those kinds of things cost. It's not easy, especially this day and age. I mean, shit, whenever in the 80s, 90s, whenever, you know, shit was cheap, I could easily live 2 million. I probably would have fucking retired and then been broke within like a couple of years. My sorry ass. Every little million adds up. Yes, it does. Every little million does add up. And then you want to leave something. If you want to leave something for family or something like that, you know, where kids go to college. I mean, think about kids' college tuition. That's a good, you know, that's a good year's paycheck right there, or 2 years on some people's case.
And have you participated in Aquaman 2?
I have.
And tell us about that.
Yeah, she sucked a dick.
I had to fight. I fought really hard to stay in the movie. They didn't want to include me in the film.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustained the objection.
That's because you suck as an actor.
Were you ultimately able to get to film in Aquaman 2?
A very pared down version of that role, yes.
Doesn't matter. You're still going to get $2 million.
They took away.
It doesn't matter how much they take away in the script, add to the script, or anything like that. She's still getting $2 million for doing that. $2 million in a year, 1 year, 2 million. She's getting $2 million. It doesn't matter if she has 2 speaking lines, 3 speaking lines, or 100 speaking lines.
But she's ungrateful.
She's
still here.
$2 fucking million.
Yeah.
Vasectomy is the way to go. Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder.
A lot of
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay, lack of foundation.
Overruled as the script.
Go ahead.
I was given a script, and then given new versions of the script that had
Doesn't
taken
matter.
away scenes that had action in it, that depicted my character and another character without giving any spoilers away. You know, they did two characters fighting with one another, and
Well,
they basically took a bunch out of my role. They didn't. Yeah, they just removed a bunch out.
good.
And what, if any, leverage did you have to negotiate a higher salary beyond the 2 million?
Objection, speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, effort did you make to?
And she's still getting options on top of that. So if Aquaman 2, I don't know how much it's made. If Aquaman 2 breaks its threshold of how much they budgeted for, anything above that, she gets a small percentage of.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the option agreement that she signed. I mean, it's like the pay to play out in California. Everyone goes, "Oh, pay to play is so horrible," which it absolutely is. If you're a fucking starving musician, it sucks. If nobody has heard of you, it sucks. If you've like built up a reputation, it's awesome. Because the way that pay to play works is you sell your they give you a whole roll of tickets, and they say, okay, for the next show that you're going to play, it's going to be $1,500. You can sell this whole roll. However many tickets that you sell, that's how much it's going to cost for you to get up here and play. Because they want asses in the seat, because asses in the seat means that they buy money. They buy drinks. They buy food. They buy what the fuck ever. If you can't bring those people in, you're going to have to come up with whatever's left over. So say, for example, you're able to, sell a portion of those for about $800. You still have to have $1,500 whenever you walk in the door, or they're not going to let you play. And there's a good reason for doing that, because they don't want some band that just comes walking off the street and comes in there, hey, we're going to play at your show, and then they don't bring anybody and put asses in the seat. It's just it, and then they end up like, what's the fucking point of having these people on here? Nobody's interested in them. There's a reason why they do pay to play, because the market is so saturated that they have to do something to actually make money or keep in business, because it costs for them just to turn the fucking lights on. It costs for them. There's a reason why it works. Now, if you're a really good fucking band, you could turn around and you could sell those tickets out and have them gone, because everybody wants to come and see you play. You can hand those. You're like giving away tickets, because you basically made your $1,500. You're just like, here, $1 fucking ticket, whatever. It doesn't matter. And once you've sold all those things out, and you sold that shit out, and then you have asses in the seat, the club's happy, and they want to have you back. And they're just like, shit, we'll even promote you next time. It's like she's not putting asses in the seat, but she's still going to get the options off of that stuff. Like if it goes to video VHS and they make some big sale on that deal, she gets money for that. That's
on top of the
options.
2 million.
Yeah. The smugness of these people. Fucking people.
Negotiate a higher salary for your participation.
I couldn't renegotiate my contract.
And why not?
Objection, this calls for hearsay and speculation.
Do you know why?
Still the same objections, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
Yeah. You know why she couldn't renegotiate? Because she couldn't come back. Well, how about you guys pay me $3 million? Why would they do that? I mean,
yeah, like you're lucky you're even in the movie. No.
Well, no. I mean, it would be one thing if like she was bringing something to the table, but she's not. She's not bringing anything to the table. She's not putting asses in the seat.
Right.
Like put asses in the seat, they'll have you back. I mean, I a lot of the places I would play in here in Georgia, they would give you a cut from the door. Or what it was is they would not pay you anything, but you got all of the door. So you bring in what 500-600 people in a night, and you're getting a portion of that. You're splitting it up between, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, whatever band members that you have. You're splitting that up between everybody. Just depends on what you've worked out with your people. Like you walk up at the end of the night, they go, hey, we pulled in, $2,000 in, door revenue. It's like, here you go. Well, sit there and count it out. And what do you want? You want 20s? You want hundreds? What do you want? And then you just turn around, you pay off the rest of your fucking band, and you move on with your goddamn day. But you're bringing people in. They're coming in. They're spending money on the show. And then there's other places that you go to, and they're just like, yeah, you can't even get $300 worth of people in this place. It's like we'll give you a percentage of the door or whatever. And different places work different ways. I mean, if you're supplying your own sound gear, if you're playing a bigger venue, those pay quite a bit more. Depends on the circuit that you're playing. If you're playing the A circuit, the B circuit, double A's, it just depends on those places that you're playing. Each venue is going to be a little bit different as a musician. And usually you get a booking agent because they're the ones that are scheduling the stuff for you. So you have to pay them also a portion. Mm-hmm. So it also behooves them to do really well. But yeah, her bitching about money. Yeah, she's making a lot of fucking money. Sorry, I'm ranting again.
You're good.
All right. Amber, I'm going to ask you to describe to this jury the emotional impact on you.
Great.
She has no emotion.
That we have talked about these 3 counterclaims.
Come on, Pol Pot.
How this has impacted.
Tell me about your emotions.
These statements are used over and over and over and over again.
Skank,
online,
whore, bitch, slut,
re-echo, and re-energize.
Objection, Your Honor. This is not responsive. Lack of foundation.
Yep.
And hearsay.
She gets to give her consent.
Well, the question was, what your emotional impact of these statements?
Okay.
The impact it has on me is every time I look at it, which is every day.
Then don't look at it, bitch.
I am set back. I have to relive it. I have to have the worst, most painful things I've ever gone through. Painful memories I've ever had, the things I've narrowly survived.
Like taking a dump on a bed. I guess that was painful. How much corn was in it?
Never wanted to be known, never wanted to be public ever, and to have them use every single day to call me a liar. I have to relive this every single day that I have to address those claims.
Then stop fucking lying.
Over and over again, the most intimate, embarrassing, deeply humiliating, and personal things that I've survived.
Survived. Oh, here we go. Victim.
Over and over again.
Victim. Yeah, here we go.
It's torture. I'm in so much pain emotionally. I just want him to leave me alone. I want him to live my life. And he won't let me. By making statements like this, he won't let me. I have to be here today. I have to be reliving it every single time.
Oh, my pussy.
With these statements, with these leaks, these comments, once again, makes me
hey, atheist. Good to see you.
Horrifying things I lived through.
Good to see you.
It's torture. It's torturous.
Yeah, dog said puppy. I shouldn't have
to move on with my life.
You can't even cry. It's so horrible.
Baby, I want to move on. I want to move on. I want Johnny to move on too. I want to leave me alone.
Well, trust me.
Oh, I
Johnny
love that part. I want Johnny to leave me alone. Watch his face.
Yeah.
It'll show it.
She looks like she's taking a dump right here. She's like
something.
This is like, I want him to leave me alone. Stop picking on me. I'm so horrible. Oh my God, she's insufferable. It's like the reason why he sued you. And how I think back, how much money do you think Johnny has actually collected from her?
Collected from her?
Yeah.
Not much.
Well, she's in an appeal, right? So if there's an appeal, he's not getting any money from her.
No, he is supposed to get so much, but I don't think he ever did.
Yet.
No.
I mean,
It's been
do,
like what, almost 2 years now?
do I think that he'll ever even collect any of that money? He may just be like that kind of asshole that goes, you know what? you just did a movie deal and I've got a lien on your shit. Boom. And puts it on hold where she can't touch it.
I think it's a blessing in itself just to be left alone by her, just to be done with all this shit.
Well,
So right here, when she says, I wish Johnny would just leave me alone, they shoot to him and he's just like
really? Wait, she's the one that started all this shit. I'm the one suing her because she's been an asshole. And if she would have
That's
just
funny where you paused it, shit.
I can't help it. I'm good
perfect.
at that. She does look slightly like a blonde Asian though with that outfit.
For someone being so pretty, she can make the ugliest faces.
Well, she ugly cries too.
She does ugly cry.
Yeah. But she doesn't really cry. She just ugly faces it.
I don't know. If I got paused at certain moments, I probably have them too.
I mean, yeah. JD spent more money on suing her than he got back. It was $1 million on settlement from insurance. He won what he wanted on trial. That was a $2 million stage for, although it was over 10 for JD. Yeah, no, I want to say, it was a lot of fucking money.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Oh,
All right.
thank
Ladies and gentlemen,
fucking
probably a good time to go
God.
ahead and take our afternoon recess based on that. So go ahead and
Recess,
discuss the
because
case and
she's
don't
going to get
do
her
any outside
ass
research. Okay, we'll
handed
see you
to
in 2
her.
minutes. Okay, thank you.
Oh, she gets her ass handed to her on the fucking redirect. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Look at him sitting over there minding his business. I love Johnny.
Yeah, he's just like,
he's so cool.
Yeah, he's just chilling. He's like,
He's
I'm
probably making some awesome pictures over there, like
well, right
eating his
now
gummy bears. Good for him.
right now he's going, you know what? My attorneys that I pay are doing their job.
They're doing their damn job.
I'm only here because I have to be here for this. Like, if I didn't have to be here, I wouldn't. I would just let my attorneys fucking argue this shit and just slam her.
Then in the meantime, I'll sit here and draw my pictures and you can just stare at me with your cold eyes.
Yeah.
So I won't acknowledge yours.
She's going to walk out the door now.
Look, she keeps looking at him.
Oh, no, this is not where she walks out. This isn't where she storms off. All these.
I love his bodyguard and the guy with the mullet. I love him.
Oh, this guy right here. Oh my fucking God. This guy right here. Whenever he gets up laughing, he just gets up and he's laughing his ass
He
off.
can't even help it. Yeah.
No,
he can't contain himself.
It's just so damn funny.
But what you're talking about, like when she gets that like scared, like that whatever, when they walk off the whatever ticket, when she's like when she sees him.
Well, it's actually after Elaine gets done with her on her final day. It isn't today. That's coming up tomorrow, or well, not tomorrow because I won't be streaming tomorrow. But the next one that I do, whenever she storms off, it's after Elaine gets done, like recrossing her or whatever. She just storms out the fucking room. It's just like I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm above it, and I don't know why everybody's fucking judging me because I am not that bitch that everybody thinks I am. I'm much worse kind of attitude. I love the security guard too. That's so great. I know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful in its mostest, bestest. Sorry. Oh, it's really funny. I just happened to glance at this and it looked like this person had like this beard right here hanging out of their face. I was like, oh shit, that's a weird freaky beard.
That's funny.
I just glanced and I was like, oh, like, oh, okay. That's that lady's hair.
The gallery is so funny.
Oh, the gallery kills me because Like, and overall, most of the people are behaving until Amber says really stupid shit.
Everybody's so tired.
So is it that I'm curious, is it this lady right here that loses her shit and starts screaming about Johnny's baby being
No,
hers and
I don't
stuff
think
like
that's
that?
her.
That
No.
one was so fucking weird. That was so creepy. They had so many freakish people in here that did like really weird shit. Why? Why? Right here. Why?
Mm.
I don't understand it. Just you want to draw like little face on her and make happy emojis on her face.
Look at the guy in front of her with his hand.
That guy right there.
Yeah.
It's just like you just see him just like I am Lucifer. I am Punky Buster.
He's just lucky to be there. Like, he didn't know if he'd get in today.
Yeah.
But now he's bored.
We have Moose over here. Like, honey, don't dress like a small school bus. Really, don't dress like a small
That's
school bus.
mustard yellow too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Don't dress like a small school bus. That's not attractive. Oh my
look at his
God.
shoes. I saw that.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
Holy
He definitely
shit.
did that in front of us.
This is my $2 million pledge to Shiz. Worship me. Well, if you need worshiping, I'll give you some worship. How's this?
The one with the black hair, is your name Emerson? Oh, that's weird. It's Emerson big old titties, you know what I'm saying?
Zach actually likes that too. Like he likes that whole skit. So
well,
he probably made his night.
Excellent. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you, brother. It was like, oh, I want that woman in black now too. God, Lord Almighty. Yeah, the peanut gallery is quite hilarious in this. Like, the masks, just like, what the fuck? You expect someone to show up in a pirate outfit too.
I like how Brinka says that they look like they're all sitting there like Beetlejuice. You know, like the Beetlejuice guy, you know?
Yep. So much. Oh my gosh. Go back to the gallery. That was so much fun. I was enjoying the gallery.
That was fun.
Like,
that girl stretched with the mustard shirt.
Oh, I know. It wasn't really a stretch. It was like she tucked her chin into her breasts and then like squeezed
something
her
weird
together.
happened.
It's like, what the F was that?
Oh.
Oh my. Oh my. Come on, Elaine. Wait, there we go. So, if I'm not mistaken, we've got the DUI guys in here.
Is he? I don't see him there. I see Runkle. Oh yeah, I see Runkle and then DUI and then what's his name? Rob. You see them?
I'm looking. I don't know.
All right, all the way to the wall is Rob, and then right next to him is DUI, and then there's Runkle.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay,
they're in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, no 6th row.
So this right here is Law and Lumber. That's Law and Lumber right there.
Yeah,
that's
Rob.
That's DUI.
That's Larry. Yeah.
This is Runkle right here.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is James from court.
No.
No?
No. Mm-mm.
No.
James from court has darker hair.
Like darker like this guy?
He's a cute guy. Like this guy is weird looking.
Well, that's true. I think James from court is on the other side of the room anyway. But yeah, so like I said, you got Runkle there, you've got, and Joe showed up on one of these too. And
Joe
Fecal
did,
Bites-
and I heard he like lost his glasses or something.
Oh yeah. It's just like,
Yeah. Fecal bites, legal bites.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I got you, Zach.
Fecal Bites. Yeah, she totally like. Well,
I never
no,
watched like what
'cause-
happened with all that.
because whenever you see that happen, DUI guy is sitting, I think, right about here. Whenever that happens, this is the area that he's sitting in. Whenever that happens.
Benjamin says, no, I think Wiz might be right. I don't think that's James from court. I would know. James would be sitting more with Larry anyway. That's not James.
I think I could be right though. I'm not positive. I know that he's there, but I don't think he's sitting with them at the same time.
Oh, Zach, I told you I didn't like blondes. I guess he's referring to fecal bites. Not a fan of blondes. Or that girl right there next to James or whoever that is.
Which one? This one right here?
No, the one next to the guy with
That
the
one?
mask that we thought was James.
That one or this one right
No,
here?
the one
With the
right there.
sad
Look at
face?
her face. That's the kind of face I'd be making in the gallery. I'd be like, something stupid. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, and James from court, if I'm not mistaken, he was paying more attention to what the jury was doing. That like really
Yeah.
interested him. So, and I could be wrong, but I think James from court is somewhere over in this side over here during these days.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, that guy is not James. Okay, see, I don't know.
We know. We figured it out. We know he's not James.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll suss him out. We will,
Either way, we're judging everybody in the gallery.
Yeah,
we're
we're
just having
making-
fun with it.
yeah, we're making.
We want it
fun
to
of
be James
people.
today. It's going to be James.
Yeah. I'll just say everybody is James. I don't care. What do they know? If you know who James from court is, then well, you'll be able to spot him. Oh, because they're about to hammer the fuck out of her, and Camille is gonna just go off on her. Oh, it's so glorious. Wait, we got more peanut gallery coming up here. Oh no, there they go. Oh, okay. So this is the sexy model right there. The one
Which one's a
that's
sexy model? Oh,
Right there.
Chandler.
yeah.
She's so pretty.
Yeah, she actually is pretty damn quite attractive.
She's
Um,
very pretty.
And
she used to be like Miss America or something, or she did something like that.
Yeah, it was like maybe Miss something, but
She was
whatever.
something, yeah.
No, she's
Beautiful.
quite attractive, and she's also not a dumbass. And from what I understand, from what all the other guys were saying, it was like she was very easy to talk to, really chill.
I heard she was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
like
personable.
right. It wasn't that fake kind of personable. It was like, no, she's actually pretty cool. I was like, that's awesome. I like hearing stuff like that. Just my
You
2
write
cents.
that.
Legal Bites a bit overreaction, since who could not make that reaction to a Perry Mason moment when what actually happened in court when they didn't actually practice in that venue? No, I mean, it's one of those like, oh shit moments whenever, you sort of see like somebody calls something out and you're just like, it is a human reaction. And her reaction to it was really shitty because she called attention to it. If she wouldn't have called attention to it, it probably would have been pretty much ignored. but because she had to get in there and she had to say, well, they don't resemble the law tube, and they disrespected what we're trying to achieve here. It's just like, wait a second. Now you've taken like that step too far. Oh, exactly. When we send people to court, exactly. That was the biggest part of it that sort of ruined it for everybody. It was just like, really? So you're running the show now? You're the one that's sending people to court? You just promoted to get people in there and you don't have to call attention to it. You know, maybe set them aside whenever you're talking to them in private and say something just like, dude, did you realize it? He probably didn't even realize it at the time of what he did. I mean, I know that he's done interviews after that and stuff like that where they talked about it, but it was one of those where it was just a general human reaction. It's like watching a car smash into another car. What you're going to sit there and just be like, the whole fucking time? No, we expect more professional behavior. It doesn't happen. It was a human reaction to something that happened. Wah. Exactly. I lost a lot of respect for her at that moment. Not that I had a whole lot of respect for her at the moment before then, but whenever I heard her going off and then she wanted to have some sort of snuggle struggle. Why is it fucking YouTube people want to fucking do these snuggle struggles where it's just like, just talk to me. Why? If you want to talk, we can talk in private. We can hash stuff out. But whenever you bring this stuff out on the interwebs and you want to hash stuff out on the interwebs, it's going to turn, it's just for fucking clicks and content and drama. And nobody wants that shit. And this exactly is why fucking Nick Rekieta said, I don't want to have any part of this LawTube thing. Whatever LawTube is, I don't want to be part of it. I'm done.
I like that he did that. Don't associate me with this group.
Exactly.
I didn't start it. I don't want nothing to do with it. And this is why.
Exactly. And he pointed it out so much. That was my, like, one of my streams. I covered that, him just going off on that. Just like, we're not playing this shit. Like, don't associate me with this group.
And they made him leader. And they still do. I don't know if so much anymore, but you know.
Which is good. Who wants to fucking be leader of that bullshit? Because then you've got some sort of expectation that you want me to live up to. And if I don't live up to it, then you've got some fucking purity test for me. It's just like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, real quick, Atheist Aunt said, Shizzy, look at my previous comment. And it says the one about I have to give Legal Bites some credit. I don't know if you want to read it.
The charity stream on the Saturday after this trial, they raised well over 100,000 for the Children's Hospital.
That's really great.
Absolutely. No, and like I said, I'm absolutely fine if you want to raise money for charities, and you know, you'd see that every stream that I do talking about Zachariah Anderson, I have that link up there. It is for people, if they want to contribute to Zachariah Anderson, contribute to Zachariah Anderson and make a go of it.
Yeah.
You know, but
as long as it's going to like what it's meant for.
Yeah, no. And it's like, and I talked with Solomon on this, and I said, listen, I'm not doing, whenever I do this, like stream, it's like, I am not sitting here grifting myself. It's like, people want to donate to me, they donate to me. I've got your link up there. If people want to donate to Zachariah Anderson's fund, donate to Zachariah Anderson's fund. But I'm not going to sit there and tell people, oh, you know, for every percentage or whatever that you donate to me, I want to donate to that. No, I don't play that shit. That's just, that to me just sounds skeevy. You know, it's like, if you want to donate to a fund, donate to a fund. And I support it wholeheartedly. But, you know, talking with Solomon, I said, hey, you know, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm trying to achieve. I have a YouTube channel. I'm a small channel. I want people to recognize the shit that's going on. And after talking with him, he was like, it's not all about for him, those funds help out. And because I am such a smaller channel, it's more like, listen, it helps out that you guys are keeping this front and forward, because you never know who's going to see it, who's going to say, listen, this becomes a worthwhile cause. Let me stand up and dig into this a little bit deeper. Keeping it in the media's attention is what he's hoping for. The money help.
God bless him, because he's doing a lot and it takes a lot of time and energy for all that.
Absolutely. And I've said this before. Do I think Zach did this? To me, it doesn't matter if he did or not. I don't think the state proved their case.
No, they didn't. Absolutely not.
It's like, if he did or didn't, it doesn't matter. It does not matter to me. The state did.
I always thought if there was no body, maybe I'm off subject, but I always thought if there was no body, you have no case. Like, they never actually found this guy.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Or am I wrong? They never found him.
Never found a body.
As far as we know, he's just a missing person, and that happens all the time.
Yes.
And that's what bugs me about all of this. They never found a body.
They can't even prove the DNA is Rosario's or whatever his name is.
Oh, see, that just makes my stomach turn.
Yeah,
the whole thing. And then you guys were watching the entire. See, I watch you guys. I might not be in chat a lot, but like I was watching you and Mo last night, and how you finished with Sadie and then went over to Zach, and like Mo said, it is a whole different. It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different testimony, and the way they treated him and the way they treated her when she was acting so much more erratic and just, I don't know what the deal was with her, but
because it's
I
easier
can
to go
speculate.
after the guy. It's easier to go after the guy.
And that's a shame. It really is. Like when I was going through my divorce, like I had to be mindful that this might fall in my, my favor because I am a woman, but I wanted to be fair. And in the end it was, because we both agreed to everything, but still it went in my favor. And maybe I wasn't, of course I feel like I was fit to be, take full custody and everything that happened, but I didn't give some bullshit testimony. I wasn't like, oh, this is why I need custody. And then
he's stalking me. He's stalking me. And he's
doing this and that. Like, I didn't have to go there. It was just a matter of differences. What is it called? Something differences.
Irreconcilable differences.
It was just that, and we agreed to agree basically in the very end. But
and my sister and brother-in-law, their divorce was probably the most peaceful, amicable divorce I've ever
like
seen.
me and John. Yep.
I mean, because they owned a business together, they owned a house together, they had kids that were 18 and 23 at the time. And just like they were unhappy in their relationship. Like
that was me. Right.
Just like this is not working out. And so what they did is they liquidated the business, they liquidated their house, they split everything 50-50. She said, you keep your 401k and your retirement fund. I'm keeping my 401k and my retirement fund. And they basically had a mediator come in and they worked this shit out and they were done with it. And no hatred towards the other person at all. It was just like, listen, we had a good run of it. We had a great relationship, but it's over. And we both know it's over. Like he would have stayed with her forever because that's the right thing to do. But she was just like, listen, you're not putting out. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like mama needs a little bit of pokey pokey and you're not giving it to her. Because, you're not attracted or whatever it might be, whatever his issues were. And, they worked it out. They just figured it out and said, he was just like, yeah, it's just, I just don't feel that kind of love for you. I mean, I still think of you as a good friend and I enjoy the time that we spend together. We have a great time together, but my sister was just like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
So
but
they
maybe
had
they become friends afterwards, which always works. Like I'm better friends with my ex than
absolutely
anything else. And I didn't think that was possible because I didn't even like the guy, at one point. But now it's he's one of my favorite people in the world.
Do you have to buy her out? No, he didn't buy her out of the business. They amazing enough, they owned a video store together, like VHS and DVDs and stuff like that. And they sold the business. They sold everything and they sold the house and they just split it down the fucking middle. Simple as that. Like no bullshit. They were just like, there wasn't any argument. Oh, I put more time in here or that, or any of that crap. It was just like, no, we're selling the business. Let's do this. Let's sell the house. We're doing this. And they split it down the middle and send each other on their own way. Whether he had more money in his 401k, it didn't matter. She didn't care. She was like, you busted your ass your entire life to earn that. As long as you don't come after me. And both the boys were old enough that they were out on their own doing their own thing. So there wasn't this custody battle or some crap like that. Like I said, probably
things
one of the
can work out really good in the end if you just do things honestly, even if it hurts. You could just do things honestly and for the right, especially if you have kids too, like there's a right way to do things amongst your kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes sticking it out for them is the worst case scenario. You got to do what's good for you too, ultimately, because you're a reflection on all of that.
Right. If you got anger towards somebody that you're in a relationship with, it's going to turn out poorly.
People can pick up on that, especially children. They're very, perceptive. Like, my son knows, like, even I knew when my parents got a divorce when I was 9 years old, as much as I knew I was going to miss my dad because he was going to move away, I knew that it was like the best thing in the world for my parents. And I didn't want that to keep on going because I knew at that age, my understanding was like, okay, this isn't a good idea. As long as I could still see my mom and dad, I was happy.
Right.
But yeah, it can get messy. And luckily, Amber and Johnny didn't have kids. They just had a lot of emotional baggage and a lot of, they were very, there was a lot of, and I don't know, but I think, some people just try to get along to, go along to get along.
Yeah. Well,
and then I think that ends up festering into something that can end up very,
well, and I think that, also that age gap really plays a big difference. I mean, you're talking what, 30-year-old age gap between these two?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Johnny was about the same age as Amber's father. So it really becomes hard to, there's certain things that you can't relate to where you're just sitting there going, listen, child, you're doing really stupid things. You're acting a fool, and I'm trying to protect you because that's what I'm supposed to do. I want to make sure that this whole fucking Hollywood place doesn't just eat you up, spit you out, and just chew you up all at the same time. And he's like, I've been here. I know how this place works. If you want to be on the fucking casting couch, then get the fuck out because I ain't got time for your shit. I'm trying to help you, and you've got an opportunity here for somebody that can not only mentor you, but you enjoy spending time with. And we get to hang out. We talk about the things that we like together. But by God, woman, I'm telling you, don't take this part because it's going to be bad for your reputation. You're looking at it going, oh no, like any news is great news. Yes, any kind of even bad press is good press if you're like at the bottom of the fucking heap because you're getting your name out there. But you've got your name out there because you're married to me. You don't even have to work. So you can pick and choose the kind of stuff that you want to do. You can actually be more selective about the parts that you take and have those like perfect acting moments where you really shine at what you're best at. It's so crazy. That's why you're friends today. Yeah.
Yeah, probably talking about me and my ex. That's how we're able to be friends today. Just the way that we went about everything.
Yeah.
But it took time. It took almost 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Daniel Esgazi, your poster.
Daniel Esgazi poster autographed.
Yeah, the ideas and answers that autographed.
It's on the back.
Nice. Yes. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You told him. You told him.
Yeah, I told him.
I love this pausing crap.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I spot James from court near.
He usually sits at the end.
Well, he may be, like I said, he may be over on the other side. There's a lot of people in there.
I don't know. I'm more like the lady with the black hair that keeps messing with her hair. She's like, that's me.
I love it. I love the Motorhead shirt on you, Danielle. That's awesome.
Do you? This is another Motorhead shirt that I got.
Yeah, Lemmy's awesome.
I love Lemmy. He reminds me of what's his name? How did I just go blank? LC. Yeah.
Yeah, complete that whenever I first started seeing LC, I was like, dude, that's like totally Lemmy right there.
That is Lemmy in a nutshell. Yeah. That's why I started getting into Lincoln Kane. Runkle in his hair. He is something else.
I know.
I like Runkle. He's a good guy.
He really is.
Look at Rob. That's his courtroom. So he's just owning it.
Yep. He's like, I'm chilling. It's like I know every square inch of this damn place.
Mm-hmm. This is my house.
Oh yeah.
I love the court reporter. She partied with Johnny after all this was over with.
Did she really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She sure did. And she talked about it, and she's a really good person. Like, she just smiled the whole time. She got a lot of crap for it too.
She's sitting there doing her fucking job. It is not enjoyable. Trust me.
That's what I'm essentially like going to school for, like to be a legal transcriptionist. I'm basically under a court reporter, which I don't know if I'm going to go finish through with it, but
you should.
What she does is like, that's a job.
It is.
I'm glad she had to sit there alone and miserable.
With her pink water.
Yeah.
That's her vagina water.
Oh, see, that has to be so awkward.
Exactly. That is exactly it right there. Johnny every single day would say hello to her because he is a gentleman. With
He'd say hello to her, the court reporter. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she doesn't work for the state.
Good afternoon, Ms. Heard.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, the way their court reporters generally, well, some court reporters are hired by the state. They have them in there, but you're still paying them. Sometimes with court reporters, they'll split the cost of the court reporter. And if you don't have one, they can provide one for you at a little bit discounted rate, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's court reporters make pretty damn good money. It's not cheap to have a good one.
Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial, has he?
Right out the fucking bat, I forgot about this.
She said he can't.
No, he said Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial.
But Amber, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Amber's like,
I know. He can't.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I forgot about this. It was just like her approach to this just threw her off
I love
so
Camilla.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just a rock star in this.
Not that I've noticed. No.
You've looked at him, though.
Not that I've noticed.
I'm with you, Rachel. I love this too.
Yes.
Many times, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You know exactly why Mr. Depp won't look back at you, don't you?
I do.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true?
I don't recall if he said that.
One of the last times you ever saw Mr. Depp was when you met him in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
That was the second to last time I saw him, yes.
And this was after you had publicly accused him of domestic violence.
I got my restraining order before that, yes.
And this is after you had obtained the domestic violence restraining order against him.
That's correct.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 1229. For the record, it's at 1101 through 1209. I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to 1229?
Yes.
All right, 1229. You want to enter it in its
Microphone,
entirety?
Elaine.
Okay.
Microphone.
1229 entered in its entirety. Go ahead and play your section.
Love it.
No. Oh no, a hug will save it all. All this, everything we
I just wanted to touch you.
Really, after all the shit you just said?
I just wanted to give
After
you
all
a
this
hug.
shit you fucking
Yes,
accused me of?
yes,
You wanna touch me?
please stop. Please stop. Please, I just wanted to hug you and say bye. I didn't want to say anything back.
No, because I'm nothing to you. I will always be nothing to you.
Calm.
What, you're a machine.
Oh my fucking God. I totally forgot about this. It's like, just touch me. I just want to touch you. I have to be near you. I have to hold you. Oh my God. I can't live my life without you. This is like the total like high school girl that threatens to commit suicide if you don't stay with her. I don't know if you guys have ever met one of those kinds of people where it's just like, my life is destroyed without you. You are my everything. You are my world. You are everything to me. Yet they treat you like absolute shit the rest of the goddamn time.
No, we'll never see each other again. You want to don't take my fucking glasses off. You don't like fucking looking at not my fucking eyes? You will not see my eyes again.
That's you and Mr. Depp in that recording.
That is.
It's Mr. Death in that recording. Oh, just the brutality of it.
And this is from when you and Mr. Depp met in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That was in the hotel. We met once after that as well.
This is after you publicly accused him of domestic abuse.
Yes, and got my TRO.
And he tells you will not see my eyes again, doesn't he?
Because she accused him of the most heinous bullshit, whether it was true or not. According to the rest of the world, this is not true. And he's going, listen, the shit that you said about me, I mean, it's like you've like crossed that line that there's no coming back, and I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yes, he does in that recording.
And he kept that promise, hasn't he?
As far as I know, he cannot look at me.
He won't look at you. Right, Ms. Heard?
He can't.
One of the first questions your counsel asked you on direct is, why are you here? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 357A, which is already in evidence.
Yes. The best part of the trial is when everyone's phone went off and Judge Penny said there must be an Amber Alert.
That's funny.
Yes. I love how JD is so offended, rightly so, and puts her in her place. If you have no right to come near me. Like you've basically said the most vile things about me. It'd be like me sitting there accusing Danielle of massacring my puppies.
Yeah.
Which would be completely untrue because Danielle would never do something like that. But for
No.
me to accuse her of it and then want to come and hang out and be best buds with her.
Yeah.
It's like you said the most vile things about me, yet you want to be best buds? Like, go fuck off. You know, then that's his attitude towards it. It's just like, it would be horrible. And this is,
Your
she's
Honor, and for the record, it's
such a horrible
2122 through 2140.
Right, and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I think this was my son. And
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
That's your voice on that recording, right?
Yes, it is.
And you were speaking with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
And you said to Mr. Depp, quote, you can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and the judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp, Johnny Depp, a man, a victim too of domestic violence, end quote. That's what you said, right?
I was saying it to the man who beat me up, yes. I thought it was preposterous.
And the man you beat up numerous times. Right, Ms. Heard?
I could never hurt Johnny.
You're here in this courtroom because Mr. Depp finally told the world that he is a victim of domestic violence.
I know.
And that, you know how hard that would be for a guy to say that my wife was abusive towards me. I mean, that right there would be so difficult as a man to say I let my wife fucking beat me. I let her abuse me physically, mentally, emotionally, and attack me. And I wouldn't stand up for myself. Dude.
That he is suing me and has sued other people or corporations.
Oh, such a bitch.
You didn't think you
Yeah.
could tell the world he was a victim of domestic violence, did you?
Nope, she didn't.
I found it hard to believe that he could or that he would do that, considering the relationship he and I had. I thought it.
I find it hard to believe that he would accuse me after I beat the shit out of him on a regular basis, that he would ever accuse me. I thought I had control over him.
Mhm.
He's just a feeble old man.
Would be crazy for him to do so, knowing what I know we lived through.
Or, as you said to him in that recording, who was going to believe that Johnny Depp, a man, is a victim of domestic violence, right?
With all due respect, I wasn't saying it because he's a man. I was saying it because he was a man who beat me up for 5 years.
Mr. Depp is your victim, isn't he?
Love that.
And once he left you, you continued to abuse him publicly by calling him an abuser, didn't you?
God damn it. What is up with this fucking shit?
He is an abuser, and you can look either of us up online and figure out who's being abused online.
Danielle.
Uh-huh.
So you're telling me that if you slap me around like a bitch whore on a regular basis, which we know Daniel would never do this, but Daniel's slapping me around, and I take it, and I'm just like, you know what, I love this woman with all my heart. She means so much to me that I'll take whatever she's dishing out because I am a man. And then I reach that breaking point where I'm just like, you know what, this is not a healthy relationship. We're constantly arguing. We're just mean to each other, and this is not a healthy relationship, and I'm out. That you stalk me down, you chase me down, you argue with me, you tell me that you can't be without me, you have to be around me. How does that make me feel? That makes me feel like shit, because I'm just like,
yeah,
like, you know, I really care about this person, and I've got like a relationship. I'm invested in this relationship, and you're treating me like shit. And then for you to say, I was the one that was being abused by him. It's like, fuck me.
Yeah. She knows what she's doing. Like she's what is it called? Borderline personality. So she uses any kind of anything, like whether it's him walking away from the situation, you know, de-escalating it, just walking away, that's abuse to her. And no matter what, he's the problem because he chose not to, you know, deal with it. And because he chose to say, hey, you're abusing me. Yes, I am being abused. And she didn't think he would go that far.
No, she didn't think that he would say, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm out.
And because he did, he's a pussy in her eyes, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, that would make a man feel really horrible. You know, it's a stab to the pride, you know, which they need to have some.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial, has he?
Sorry, I rewound it a little bit.
Not that I've noticed. No.
You've looked at him, though, many times, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You know exactly why Mr. Depp won't look back at you, don't you?
I do.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true?
I don't recall if he said that.
One of the last times you ever saw Mr. Depp was when you met him in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
That was the second to last time I saw him, yes.
And this was after you had publicly accused him of domestic violence.
I got my restraining order before that, yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is after you had obtained the domestic violence restraining order against him.
That's correct.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 1229. For the record, it's at 1101 through 1209. I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to 1229?
Yes.
Microphone, Elaine.
29. You want to enter it in its entirety?
Yes, please.
Okay. 1229 entered in its entirety. Go ahead and play your section.
Exactly, Rachel. That is exactly what it was.
Oh, she's so annoying.
Yes.
After all the shit you just said, after all the shit you fucking accused me of,
Please stop. Please stop.
Please stop. Don't leave me. I'm going to be so alone.
And then he leaves because it's too much.
Yeah. Because he actually does.
And she
love
chases
her.
him down. Oh.
The worst part is he actually loves her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so disturbing about it. It was like, you know, it's not like he despised this person, but the way that she treated him, it was like, once it was pointed out to him, it was like, this is not healthy, dude. You need to get the fuck out of this relationship because she will kill you. Like, you'll wake up one morning and, well, you'll be in either heaven or hell, but you won't be on this earth anymore because she done deleted your ass. I get, it's like Phil Hartman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Atheist.
Phil
And
Hartman.
she is great too.
Phil Hartman, the one that was married, right? Or the one that was unalived by his wife?
Yeah, she killed him and then killed herself.
Fun fact, well, my ex-father-in-law was roommates with her.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Did he dodge a bullet or what?
Yeah. I'm trying to think where this yeah.
I mean, you know, here's the thing. So I met up with this girl. She come in, pursued me a little bit. I was like, oh, she's pretty cute. So we ended up hanging out, and she invites me back to her place. I go back to her place, and you know, we're getting a little down and dirty, and then it was like probably like about 2 weeks into the relationship, she was just like, hey, you want to come by? I think they were playing like Magic the Gathering or something like that. Like her and a whole bunch of people. It's like, oh, why don't you come by? We're doing this thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I never really got into it. I was just like, okay, this is fun, but it's like D&D kind of thing. I was like, I don't know anything about this stuff. And so she introduces me to her roommate, which is her ex-boyfriend. Awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. So wait, I knew that you had a roommate. I didn't know that it was your ex-boyfriend. And you made a lot of very loud noises in the other room. Are you doing it to piss him off, or what the fuck is going on? It was a weird, really weird kind of situation. And I was like, okay, I'm out of this. Like, I shut down at that point in time. And of course, what was it, about 2 or 3 weeks later, after sort of ignoring her a little bit, I was like, yeah, I got other things I'm doing. She was just, can we meet for coffee? I was like, yeah, sure, we can meet for coffee. Meet up with her for coffee. And she was like, I think I'm gonna have to call an end to the relationship. And I was just like, oh, sounds good. Like, fucking out of here. Good job. Awesome.
So you offered the coffee date?
Oh yeah, I was just like, cool. All right. Because that was pretty fucking weird that you're like roommates with your ex and you're like having me over and you're like a screamer kind of thing.
That's what's going on with my neighbor right now. He's one of my closest friends, and his new girlfriend lives with her husband still. And it's just a shit show.
Yeah. No, it's no fun.
Yeah, he'll say, you want to come over for a beer? And I'm like, no, I don't think that's a great idea. Like,
yes, Rachel.
Get that sorted out, and then maybe we'll have a drink and talk about it. But until then, good luck with that.
And absolutely, Rachel, that's really awkward. Play it safe. Don't be a pawn in her stupid game.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, Rachel.
Because that's exactly what I felt like it was. It was like, okay, this is some weird fucking game that they've got going on where it's just like she pisses him off. He does like the rage bang or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what their deal is, or maybe he's getting off on it because he can't perform. Fuck, I don't know. I just like, as soon as she broke that shit off, I was like, see you later. Like, throw away that fucking number.
You know, he's attracted to crazy shit.
It was so crazy. And I'm pretty goddamn chill whenever it comes to a lot
you
of
are.
shit. Just like, yeah, okay, whatever. You got crazy ex-boyfriend. Okay. Is he gonna start some shit? Because I'll roast him. If dude's gonna come over and start some shit, I got that covered. But whenever you're like doing it intentionally, it's like I'm more likely to go hang out with the dude and just be like, yeah, she's fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just me. I don't know. I have low tolerance for bullshit.
Yeah.
Not all women are crazy. Trust me, not all women are crazy.
No.
As much as I like to joke about it, not all women are crazy.
But so are all men.
No, men and women.
No, that's what he said. So are all men. We're all crazy in our own ways.
Yeah, and you just have to figure out what level of crazy you're willing to deal with. It's like, is it going to be this crazy or that crazy? Because we're all flawed human beings, and you have to,
we're highly fallible.
Exactly.
All of us.
Is my wife absolutely perfect? No, but she's perfect for me.
Yeah, she is so perfect for you. She is.
It's like, yeah. I mean, she's got her flaws. It's not.
She needs her flaws. We need them.
You have to have those flaws, because then you can go, you know what? I would much rather have all of those flaws. And if all of those flaws disappeared tomorrow, I would miss every single one of those flaws. All of those things that pissed me off about her, just to have her back would be worth it.
Aww.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like fucking looking at not my fucking eyes? You will not see my eyes again.
That's you and Mr. Depp in that recording.
That is.
And this is from when you and Mr. Depp met in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That was in the hotel. We met once after that as well.
This is after you publicly accused him of domestic abuse.
Yes, and got my TRO.
And he tells you you will not see my eyes again.
Thank you, Atheist. That's hilarious. That's why I'm happy to be asexual. Y'all breeders and breeding simulators are weird. Thank you. Thank you for the humor. I love it. I love that. That's hilarious as shit.
Down, doesn't he?
Yes, he does in that recording.
And he kept that promise, hasn't he?
As far as I know, he cannot look at me.
He won't look at you, right, Ms. Heard?
He can't.
He won't.
He can't.
One of the first questions your counsel asked you in direct is,
disgusting.
why are you here? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 357A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor. And for the record, it's 21,
Oh, this is
22
so
through
harsh.
2140.
Like, she just ignores. She makes statements. It's like, so if you hadn't noticed this, how Camille acts towards her, it's like she is using her as a sounding board to make statements. Like, she's got her points, like bam, 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 bam. Point A, point B, point C, point D, point D, F, and she just like goes down through it, and she is not expecting Amber to even respond to it, because she's going to play this portion of it anyway. And she's got everything worded out perfectly to a T, like a rhythm. If you listen to it, she's got this rhythm that just like, I don't care if you say left, right, you could say blue, you could say green, you could say orange, you could say whatever number you want to say. She disregards every single word that Amber says as if it is a lie. It's like, Johnny can't look at you. Boom. She hits it, and she was like, Johnny won't look at you. And she says, he can't look at me. And she just ignores it and says, Johnny can't look at you. You know, she just repeats it. And then she moves on to the next point. She pulls up that next piece, and she just has this rhythm that just snaps right along. It doesn't change. It is consistent. Like, no matter what Amber is saying, she's right there. Just ignores the response that Amber gives. Amber can tell her the sky is blue, and she makes her next point. Like your words don't fucking matter. Oh, damn, she is so fucking beautiful on this. Camille is pissed off, protective little sis vibes. Yes.
Does. Over Johnny. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
That's your voice on that recording, right?
Yes, it is.
And you were speaking with Mr. Depp.
Yes.
And you said to Mr. Depp, quote, you can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and the judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp, Johnny Depp, a man, a victim too of domestic violence, end quote. That's what you said, right?
I was saying it to the man who beat me up. Yes. I thought it was preposterous.
And the man you beat up numerous times. Right, Mr.
And
I
Depp?
could never hurt Johnny.
Moves on to the next one. Makes her
You're here in
point.
this courtroom because Mr. Depp finally told the world that he is a victim of domestic violence.
I know that he is suing me and has sued other people or corporations that have said that as well.
You didn't think he would tell
Oh yeah, she knows
the
Amber
world he
Heard's
was a victim of
games.
domestic violence, did you?
I found it hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
believe that he could
I haven't. I was sitting there messaging back.
or that he
Oh, I love
would
that.
do that, considering the relationship he and I had. I thought it would be crazy for him to do so, knowing what I know we lived through.
Or as you said to him in that recording, who was going to believe that Johnny Depp, a man, is a victim of domestic violence. Right?
With all due respect, I wasn't saying it because he's a man. I was saying it because he's a man who beat me up for 5 years.
Mr. Depp is your victim, isn't he?
No, ma'am.
And once he left you, you continued to abuse him publicly by calling him an abuser, didn't you?
He is an abuser, and you can look either of us up online and figure out who's being abused online.
Let's look at some of that. Mr. Depp wears rings on every finger, doesn't he, Ms. Heard?
That's my experience, yes.
And they're not delicate rings, are they?
No, they are not.
Every one of his fingers is adorned, your words, big, chunky rings. Isn't that right?
That's my experience of him.
Like brass
Mr. Depp
knuckles.
is always wearing rings, right, Ms. Heard?
That's my experience of him.
And you've never known him not to wear these rings.
That's my experience, is he normally wore rings.
God damn it.
Yes.
So Mr. Depp was wearing these big, chunky rings on every finger, every incident of abuse you've described to this jury, right?
I can't say for certain it was in every single incident.
But you've never known him not to wear rings, right?
In general, my experience with Johnny is that he wears rings almost all the time.
Ms. Heard, do you recall giving testimony in a deposition in this matter in January of this year?
I do.
Can we please play
Oh, it's beautiful.
from your deposition, day 2, 512, page 512, lines 11 through 15?
Oh. I think Camille
He
is.
said he hit you and he was wearing rings, right, Ms. Heard? So he hit you with rings on every finger?
I don't know if I've ever known Johnny to not wear rings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ms. Heard, you testified to an incident in March of 2013 where Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times. Do you recall that?
That's correct.
And you testified, quote, you don't know how many times he hit you in the face.
That's correct.
So Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times while he was wearing rings on this occasion, correct?
Which occasion in March are you referencing? You weren't
The
specific.
testimony that you gave on day 15 of his trial, March of 2013. You weren't specific as to the day.
There were several incidents.
The one where he hit you several times in the face.
There were I'm sorry, just so I understand better. There were
It
several
happened. It
incidents in
happened
March
on
of
a weekly
2019.
basis,
The time
daily
that he hit you
basis.
several times in the face wearing rings.
Well,
You weren't
pretty much
March of
always-
specific.
2013.
I'm being as specific as you were.
What are you asking me? I'm sorry.
He was wearing rings on that occasion?
I pretty much always knew him to wear rings.
Okay, let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 170A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor.
Yes. Camille's
Testified
false.
this is the picture you took after that incident, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, that was one where he grabbed me.
And hit you in the face so many times that you don't remember. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Not that this picture shows.
And there's no medical records reflecting that you sought treatment after this alleged incident either.
I did not seek medical treatment at this time.
So there's no medical records reflecting any injuries to your face after he hit you several times,
I did not need to go to the doctor at the time.
despite hitting you several times that you lost count with rings on on his fingers.
That's correct. I did not seek medical attention, other than my therapist.
Your therapist is
Testified to
going
another
to
incident in March of
compassionate wounds.
2013, where Mr. Depp hit you while he was wearing a lot of rings. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
And you testified you felt like your lip went through your teeth and it got a little blood on the wall.
Yes, I remember that.
There isn't a picture of you with injuries after that alleged incident, is there?
I don't know if I've seen one. I can't recall. There are a lot of pictures.
You didn't produce any photographs after that alleged incident, did you?
I don't know if I took one or if it's included. I'm not quite sure which ones.
You didn't show any pictures to this jury after describing that alleged incident that your
Absolutely.
teeth, your lip went into your teeth. You don't remember that, right?
I
You didn't show
don't-
any pictures to this jury after describing that incident, right?
I don't believe I've seen that picture admitted.
That picture doesn't exist.
I don't know which one you're talking about. We have pictures from March 2013. Yes.
The only picture that you've produced and shown to this jury is the one that was just put up on the screen, where you said he hit you multiple times in the face and you appear to have what is a bruise on your arm, correct?
I believe this is the only picture that's in evidence right now.
That's the only picture you've shown to this jury from March 2013, correct?
I believe so.
You testified about an incident in Russia on or about June 26, 2013. Do you remember that?
Yes, that's correct.
You testify that Mr. Depp, quote, whacked you in the face.
That's correct.
And you went to the bathroom after that, right?
I did.
And then, according to your testimony, when you came out of the bathroom, Jerry Judge, Mr. Depp's security guard, who's passed away, pointed out that your nose was bleeding, right?
He did that in the hallway.
And you said you hadn't known that your nose was bleeding until Jerry Judge pointed it out to you?
Yes, that's correct. I was unaware until he brought it up to me. I didn't see it when I was in the bathroom, but I wasn't looking.
So it's your testimony that you went into the bathroom and didn't look in the mirror, which I assume was in the bathroom, to notice that your nose is bleeding?
That's not why I went into the bathroom. I went into the bathroom crying. I don't even know if I paid attention to the mirror.
She
I
wanted to
certainly didn't
take
run up
a
and notice
dump.
any blood.
And you didn't take any pictures of your nose either, did you?
I did not.
But pictures were taken of you in Russia, though. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We had a press or
This
a
is
dinner.
harsh.
Let's please pull up plaintiff's
Crossed.
exhibit 1248.
Kill it.
Ms. Heard, this is a picture of you and Mr. Depp in Russia, correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to move to admit.
All right, no objection. 1248 in evidence. You can publish.
And this is you and Mr. Depp in Russia for the Lone Ranger premiere, correct?
It was a dinner function, I believe, in promotion of the movie. Wasn't the premiere, if I recall.
You don't have any visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
Let's look at plaintiff's exhibit 1249. This is a picture of you, isn't it right?
That's correct.
I'm going to move to admit exhibit 1249.
All right, 1249 in evidence.
This is also a picture from when you were in Russia for the Lone Ranger premiere, right?
That is correct.
You have no visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
Even though Mr. Depp whacked you in the face so hard that your nose bled?
He did.
While wearing chunky big rings, right?
That's correct.
Use is abuse.
You also testified that Mr.
strong
Depp
with you, young
again whacked you
Padawan.
in the face after the Met Gala in May of 2014, right?
That is correct.
Uh-huh.
You testified that you thought he hit you so hard he broke your nose.
That's correct.
You said your nose was, quote, swollen, discolored, red.
That is correct. I took a picture of that.
You testified you took a picture of your face after this.
I did.
You
Yes.
didn't show that picture to the jury, did you?
I would like to.
But you didn't show it, did you?
That's not up to me.
Yes, it is.
You understand you were under an obligation to produce all photographs after any alleged incidents of violence, right, Ms. Heard?
I produced everything.
You didn't produce any photographs after the Met Gala.
I produced everything.
You also understand that you're under an obligation to
hammered.
produce all medical records reflecting any injuries you allegedly sustained from Mr. Depp, correct?
That's correct.
And you haven't produced any pictures or any medical records reflecting a broken nose after the Met Gala in May of 2014, have you?
I have given everything to my lawyers. Everything. I've turned over literally everything that I have.
Is it your testimony, Ms. Heard, that you sought medical treatment after Mr. Depp allegedly broke your nose after the Met Gala?
Not after the Met Gala. I did not seek medical attention. No.
You also attended an event after the Met Gala in May of 2014, didn't you?
That is correct.
And you went to the All-Star Comedy Tribute to Don Rickles.
That is correct.
That was the next night after the Met Gala.
That is correct.
And there were pictures of you taken at this event.
Yes.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1252. This is a picture of you, Ms. Heard,
Yes, it is.
at that event,
Yes, it is.
the night after the Met Gala,
Yes, it is.
the night after Mr. Depp allegedly broke your nose.
I'm not sure if it was broken, for the record, but
It wa-
yeah, you should see
it
what it looks like
wasn't.
underneath the makeup.
He whacked you so hard in the face that you thought you had broken your nose.
Exactly.
Permission to admit this photograph.
All right, 1252 in evidence.
Broken nose.
There's a picture of you, Mr. Depp, and Don Rickles, right?
That is correct.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1253. This is another picture from that evening, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, it is.
Permission to admit Exhibit 1253 and publish it.
All right, so moved. 1253 in evidence.
This is a picture of you and Mr. Depp.
Oh, that
at the
looks like a
event
broken
the night after
nose.
Mr. Depp allegedly whacked you in the face so hard you thought he had broken your nose.
He did whack me in the face, and I did think it broke my nose.
And this is you the night after.
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
Plaintiffs, please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1254. This is also a picture of you at the same event, correct, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1254.
All right, 1254 in evidence, publish.
Just to confirm now that the jury can see it, this is a picture of you at the same event, the night after Mr. Depp allegedly whacked you in the face so hard you thought you broke your nose.
This is a picture of me after he did whack me in the face.
The night after, right?
Yes, it is. I believe it was the night after, yes.
Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Ms. Heard?
I'm wearing makeup.
Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Ms. Heard?
That's why I'm wearing.
She's wearing fucking makeup. So makeup makes a broken nose go away.
Mm-mm. I wear good makeup. I wear like expensive makeup. That's the one thing I do get for myself. And it's not going to cover a broken nose. It's not even going to cover, you know, anything swollen. It's just not.
No.
Especially a broken nose. You know, she wears the best of the best makeup.
Oh, of course. She is so dumb. It so clearly lies. So mad at the ignorance of mainstream.
Exactly,
media.
Rachel.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
Wearing makeup.
Right. And makeup covers up swelling, right?
Makeup will not cover up swelling. Ice
With
will.
the eye swell.
See,
Ice
makeup
cover
will
up
not
swelling?
cover up swelling.
Ice
No.
reduces swelling. Normally, the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you might imagine. And for me,
You can't even
wasn't
stand the
that bad.
touch of makeup on your skin after a broken nose.
I've had my nose broken, and it looked worse than it was. That, you know, it's not something that is clearly like obvious, you know.
Yeah.
So both my eyes blackened up like severely, like black and blue all
Yeah.
down through here, and it was swollen, it was puffy, it looked so fucked up. Like I could have put a ton of makeup on, but I would have looked so out of place, you know. It just would have been like, what the fuck happened to your face?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. I just wore some sunglasses, so it wasn't as obvious. But as soon as I would take them off, it was just like, what the fuck attitude? No, it is very, very obvious. I mean, if you try to put makeup over it, it still looks puffy and swollen because you busted those blood vessels in there. And this is what the jury saw.
I have a picture of it underneath the makeup. That's how I know how to reference it.
A picture you haven't produced or shown to
did.
this jury, right, Ms. Heard?
No, she
I
hasn't.
I produced everything.
But you
Oh,
haven't
yeah,
shown it to
but-
this jury.
I would very much like to. It's not my job.
Are you saying that Elaine's not doing her job?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes, that's fine.
Like, Your Honor, it's clear that she's fucking full of shit. It's not my job to produce these. Your Honor, she's not answering the question. She's saying that these pictures haven't been produced. She's been producing all kinds of pictures. This is so great. She's so dumb. It so clearly lies. It's magic makeup. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm sure that a lot of women, all you have to do is pull up that picture for Yana after Chris got a hold of her face.
I have that actually to send you. I'm going to put it in your Discord.
And I'll pull it up because, you know,
Okay.
put that as comparison is like this is what it looks like whenever you get your shit fucking knocked around multiple times in the face. It is such fucking bullshit that she's sitting there saying, oh no, it
All right,
wasn't.
I just sent it to you.
Cool. I'm pulling it up here.
That's like, I know it's a little bit bright, but I
No,
saved it
that's-
because I saw it the other day in a video thing, and I was like, I need to send that to shit. So
Hey, give me just a second. I'll open a browser. And so this right here is what it looks like whenever you get punched in the face multiple times. This is what a broken nose looks like whenever you're
and look at the lip, the freaking lip. We just went over this with Amber the other day or last week.
Exactly.
That's
This
a busted
is
lip.
This is a busted lip. This is what it looks like whenever you get abused.
Her eye is swollen shut, for God's sake.
Partially, yes.
And then look underneath her eyebrows.
Yeah.
Oh.
So whenever Amber starts saying all of her bullshit, oh no, I was totally abused. I was like so hurt and destroyed, and he did all these horrible things to me. Remember, this right here is multiple blows to the face. This is what abuse looks like right here. Not some little like pink mark that she might have like right here. You know, that little pink mark that she has on her face that's saying, "Oh, he hit me multiple times." Sweetheart, you do not heal that good. Especially you're saying you have some sort of skin condition. This right here is whenever you go, what the fuck truck just ran into you?
Yep. That's a real example right there. That's getting your ass whooped.
Yes. This is not a position you ever want to be in. And for Amber to say that she was in this position, and whenever you see the look on her face, it's like, no.
And this is probably without rings.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is just, that's without rings.
This is just straight up. Those rings that Johnny has are like brass fucking knuckles.
Yeah.
You get hit with that shit. And trust me, I know, because I used to wear a lot of fucking rings. You hit somebody, it leaves a lot of fucking damage. Like one hit and you're breaking bones. It's like wearing brass knuckles. It is so fucking painful for the other person. This right here is what, whenever you're smacking someone and you're pounding them multiple times. This is the face of somebody that's been abused brutally.
Yep.
That Amber's claiming has happened to her, to have just a little, oh, I've got a little mark under my face. Fuck you. Fuck you. And the horse you rode in on. No. Yeah, he didn't have no brass knuckles. He didn't have
that
rings.
Picture of Rihanna. Ooh.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart.
It does. Oh, what a fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sending me that, because I've been trying.
Yeah, I made sure to save it. I meant to send it to you the other day. I just forgot.
Oh, it's all good.
You know what I love is that Rihanna put Johnny Depp in her video thing after this trial. It was for some kind of commercial. I thought that was beautiful. Like that they could come together like that, as two abused people standing together and doing some art like that.
Rachel, I don't ever think you were spamming chat. You were absolutely fine.
Oh, Rachel, you're awesome.
Mr. testified that in January,
Rachel's added a lot to this
there was an
tonight.
incident in Tokyo
Yes.
for Mr. Depp's Mordecai, the film Mordecai's premiere. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you told this jury that on this occasion, Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back.
That's correct, in the closet.
And you also told this jury that you wore a backless dress to the Mordecai premiere that very same night.
I did.
And you testified that you were checking for bruises in the car on the way to the event to make sure that there were, quote, no visible marks, right?
I was checking on my phone after the event to make sure that they couldn't see anything.
Your testimony was that you were checking in the car on the way to the event to make sure that there were no marks on your back.
That's what she
Perhaps
said.
I misspoke or I misunderstood. It was on the way back from it. Was after I was concerned. Concerned that there would be marks in any photographs, since we.
It's not what she said.
Johnny's precedent.
You didn't.
Because Camille is pointing this out. This is something that she said on oath, under oath, while she said she was checking on her way there because she wanted to make sure that there was no bruises on her back. She had her phone and she was circling every little part of her body because there had to be bruises there.
You don't wear a backless dress if you just got kneed in the back in your closet to a premiere.
And punched in the
Unless
back
you're
of the
wanting a
head.
certain amount of attention, which I'm glad she got the attention that she did with all that because it proved that she was bullshit.
Bullshit.
Show this jury a picture of you in that backless dress, though, did you?
I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
You didn't show this jury a picture of you at the Mordecai premiere wearing a backless dress, did you?
I haven't had the opportunity to.
Okay.
I assume you have it.
I do. Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1256.
Yeah, this is after her being punched in the
This
back,
is a picture of
kneeled
you
on,
and Mr.
punched in
Depp
the back of the
after
head.
you at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, correct, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit and publish this picture.
All right, 1256 in evidence.
Look at all those bruises.
She has a beautiful back too. I don't know what
This is you in the
she's
backless
trying to
dress
do.
at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, right?
Yep.
That is correct.
You would agree that there are no bruises or visible marks on your back in this picture.
What is that? A
No,
tattoo
not
on
that
the
I can
leg?
see.
That's
Show you
tattoo.
one other
Basically
photo.
saying that
Please
she's a
have Plaintiff's
slut.
Exhibit 1257.
Yeah. I love you,
Front
Shiz.
angle picture of you and Mr. Depp
Bible
at that premiere,
verses.
correct?
That is correct.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1257.
All right, 1257 in evidence.
Oh.
I'll show you one more picture. Plaintiff's Exhibit 1258. And again, Ms. Heard, this is you and Mr. Depp at the Mordecai premiere.
Yes, it is.
Picture your
Move
ass.
to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1258.
All right, 1258 in evidence. Publish.
And that's the backless dress, right, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Are those cum
You
stains
also
on your
told this
back?
jury about an incident in Australia in March 2015.
Sorry, that's
Yes,
bad.
that's correct.
You testified that after this alleged incident, you had cuts on your forearms, right?
Yes, that's true.
And you testified that you had cuts on the bottoms of your feet as well.
Yes, that's true.
And you testified that you had a bruise across your jaw from when Mr. Depp, quote, clocked you in the face, end quote.
That's true.
You didn't take any pictures of these injuries while you were in Australia, did you?
I don't think I took any pictures.
You just took 2 pictures of Mr. Depp's writing on a mirror. Isn't that right?
I believe so, yes.
So you had your phone on you, right?
At some point I did have my phone.
And your iPad?
I had my iPad, I believe.
You
But never
testified
took
that you
any
were also
pictures.
raped with a liquor bottle in Australia, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes.
You testified you bled from your vagina as a result of that sexual assault.
Yes.
There aren't any medical records reflecting that you sought medical treatment for any
First I thought Camille was going to say, did you take any pictures of your vagina after?
Yeah. There's no pictures insinuating this, is there?
I was like, oh God, no, please don't go there, Camille. Please don't go. She didn't. But oops. Oh, no, we love you guys. You know, you can sit there. Nobody's really spamming the chat. I mean, you know, it is.
of these injuries, are there?
We're chill.
I did not seek medical treatment after Australia, no.
Not for the rape?
No, I did not want to tell anyone.
Not for the cuts?
No,
Not for the injuries to your face?
I didn't need to.
You also told the jury about an incident on December 15, 2015, right?
Where? I'm sorry.
December 15th, 2015.
Yes, that's correct.
Danielle, you know what time it is?
Hmm.
It is time we go raid MG with all 3 people.
Do we only have 3?
We only have 3. All 3 people. We're going to raid MG because he has got a much more interesting trial than this bullshit right here. Because that's all that this girl has is nothing but bullshit. But don't worry, because we're going to cover more of this next Wednesday. So you come back again and see it there. And until then, every single one of you people be kind to each other and don't have sex with liquor bottles because, well, that's painful. Peace, y'all.
I love a buttered biscuit.
dropped a grumpy